feel like you say happy belated birthday.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Take two. We are here. Apparently, Streamlabs still doesn't like Roll20, but we'll fix that. We are back. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel. Hope you are doing well tonight. We are here. It is a Sunday. It means it is Carousel Court. I'm going to let my wonderful players go around and introduce themselves. And then we'll see what happens next. So, why don't we start with Lynn? Hey Lynn, how are you? How's life going for you?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm Lynn Shive, and today I'm playing the Quans. Which ones? And we'll see. We'll see. We'll see which ones I'm playing today.
We will see which ones you are indeed playing today. And yes, that brings us to the fabulous Trooper. And Trooper celebrated the anniversary of his natal day on Saturday. So we're all gonna say happy birthday, Trooper. Happy birthday, Trooper.
Happy birth weekend, Trooper.
That works too.
Happy birthday.
Then he can't complain as much if it's birth weekend because it's still correct.
Well, but I could complain that having an entire weekend for one's birthday seems so indulgent.
Well, we only indulge the finest, Trooper. So.
Oh, that makes me sound like I'm made of Ghirardelli chocolate or like truffles or.
Are you not?
I mean, aren't you?
I totally thought you were Truffle Man.
Yeah, but aren't you from San Francisco? I can understand the confusion.
Yeah.
I am. It's true.
I've been to the Ghirardelli chocolate factory. I didn't see you there though, so that's why I went with truffles.
you didn't realize. I will say though, the Ghirardelli chocolate it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if it's good now, but it is good.
It is good. So introduce yourself.
Okay. Hey, I'm Trooper SJP. Woo, pew, 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 pew. And I am. I have a number of monitors up, just so I can see how my internet is doing at any given moment. Just there. And I am playing them. I am representing the Musgrove family. Currently, the head of the Musgrove family is Peter Musgrove, who is a pacifist, a conscientious objector, a Quaker, a communist, and also has the vice on his character sheet, foolish. And he has a family that he has his wife, Nellie, and his two twin daughters, Seneca and Senaki, who are at this point in time, I believe.
Don't give away all the spoilers.
I can see how old they are.
This is fair.
Right? Because I feel like when we started the game, they were much younger. They were 7 or so, and now I believe ish, right? Because we have gone a couple of time periods. So it's 55. So they're currently 20 years old. 58. They were 17 and 55, and now in 58 they are 20 years old and off to college. So it's just just Peter and Nellie in the home. That's me.
Well, that's good. I will fix it later. Hey, all right. Well then, we have next up. Hey, Lindy, how are you?
Trying to find the unmute button. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. I'm gonna have a lot of fun tonight.
I made a bunch of pickles today and canned them, and I basically self-fumigated myself with cooking vinegar. But so it's nice to be not in the kitchen right now, because that's where I've been most of the day. I will be playing the Ardeline family, specifically Opal Ardeline. She has a lovely husband, James, who might be have been at one point the boy next door, and that caused no issues or troubles between the two families at all whatsoever. And everything's fine, and it's cool. She's a secretary, just living her best, totally fully human adult life.
I got a really important. Well, we'll come back to that. I'll ask all the important questions in a little bit.
Sure.
But that leads us to Pope. How are you, Pooh? How's life going for
Oh,
you?
well, hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the interwebs. Um, really just psyched to be here with the rest of the Carousel crew, playing Apollo Gwillem. Both of us use he, him pronouns. And it's 1958. The world is moving forward. There are changes afoot. Change is scary. Change can be violent sometimes. We will see how violent this evening.
I mean, violent, aggressive, your choice of terms. Hey, PB, how are you? How's life going for you?
Hey, it's going good. Totally not at all. Even a little bit concerned about the terrors that may await us. Absolutely not. Hi, I'm PB from @PB Plays Inside. Today I will be playing Ro Walters, the head of the Walters family. The very large Walters family. There's a lot of us. Whole two, three
And the
maybe.
dog.
And the dog. You're right. You're right. We have our half in there. We have our little Firu, our cute little puppy who's not much of a puppy anymore, but you know the vibes. I am very excited to be playing today and see what Prax has prepared for us, because it hasn't been a week of messages in our group chat.
So, I should do some housekeeping first. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for that wonderful hype train. I appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you who's here. Friendly reminder that if you are live in chat here on Twitch, thank you for being here. I see you over on YouTube. I appreciate each and every one of your comments, and I try and respond to all of them. But if you're here on Twitch live, you can use channel points to gift your players bonus dice, or your GM. And you can gift up to 3 bonus dice per player per session. They do not carry over. Just saying. It might be important for things because certain people have decided to make certain actions. Also, if you need a refresher of all of the NPCs that you have been introduced to so far, hi, we have a sheet for that. You can check them out right there by clicking the link in chat. It's real great and easy to follow along. But it's 1958. July 15th, 1958 is a little hot and humid. And my players might want to pay attention to Twitch. Just a little. Just a little. But you should watch. And see you in a second, everybody.
Olds brings the news. Your local Oldsmobile dealer, the dealer who brings you famous rocket engine Oldsmobiles, presents an up-to-the-minute account of today's headline news, reported by television's foremost news commentator, Edwin McDonald. Good evening, America. This is Edwin McDonald with the CBS Evening News. Local Savannah, Georgia news sources and the United States Coast Guard report that the nuclear warhead that was jettisoned during February's mid-air collision off Tybee Island was recovered today with the assistance of local George Eldridge. During a night training exercise on February 5th, the B-47 bomber carrying the dummy bomb collided with an F-86 fighter. The pilot of the F-86 was able to eject safely, and the pilot of the B-47 was eventually able to regain control of the aircraft to make an emergency landing. However, to do so, the crew was forced to jettison the warhead that they were carrying. It has been reported by the United States Air Force that the bomb was a dummy without any nuclear material on board. The bomb was thought lost off the coast of Tybee Island. Today, however, a joint crew of United States Coast Guard crewmen and United States Navy Captain, retired George Eldridge, were able to recover the bomb 5 miles east of Little Tybee, near the mouth of the Warsaw Sound. In a joint news conference at the Tybee Island Lighthouse, Captain Eldridge stated, "My family has been on Tybee Island for generations, and it was our responsibility to ensure that such a dangerous device was not able to harm the residents of Tybee or any who came to enjoy our beautiful beaches. The U.S. Coast Guard servicemen who aided in the search are to be commended. I am glad that we were able to preserve those beautiful natural waters for future generations. The U.S. Air Force declined to comment, stating merely that the incident was under review. But not all locals were pleased with Captain Eldridge's efforts. Mrs. Henrietta Smith of 59 Timberland Drive led a protest locally at Monterey Square in Savannah against the recognition and commendations of Captain Eldridge, saying, "George Eldridge and his kind have no business interfering in the work of the U.S. government. Who knows what others like George Eldridge would do if they had access to such powerful weaponry as a nuclear bomb? We are here to demand that the House Un-American Activities Committee investigate this matter and ensure that George Eldridge and no others have retained any secrets relevant to national security. We know that Representative Francis Walter will address this matter with the scrutiny that is needed." When asked if indeed he was an other, Captain Eldridge responded, "The United States Navy has been aware of my status since 1942, when I started fighting U-boats for them in the North Atlantic." In international news, Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom opened the British Kingdom and Commonwealth Games in Cardiff. This will be the second Commonwealth Games with others-only events. The Queen and the Prince Consort both stated that they looked forward to attending as many other events as possible. This has been Edwin McDonald with CBS saying good night, one and all, for Oldsmobile.
Hi, everybody. Yes. Hi, everybody. They did manage to recover, unfortunately, that small little nuclear warhead. But drama is happening and things are moving. Some folks aren't real appreciative. Hope, you have a question.
No, just 1950s broken arrow situations.
Mm-mm.
I would like to point out something to all those following along at home. While I tweak the history that I present every week, I do not make it up. And
Yeah.
apparently, 1958 was a real bad year for nuclear warheads and B-47, 74 bombers. B-47s, excuse me.
Whoops.
Yeah,
In the East Coast.
again, for those of you who may have been young when this film released, go look up Broken Arrow. I'm going to quote from there. "I'm not sure what worries me more, that we lost a nuke or that we have lost a nuke a number of times that we actually have a term for it."
I feel like I should point out, for those of you watching along at home, no, the bomb that was jettisoned off of Tybee has never been found, and no one knows if it was actual dummy or not. So, we need to make project rolls. Welcome
You
to
don't
1958.
say.
Welcome to 1958.
Yay.
I should point out that the other B-47 bomber that dropped a nuclear warhead on American soil, specifically South Carolina, in 1958, it didn't explode. Well, it did explode, but it didn't explode the nuclear material. So you only lost like a house, and that's about it. 1958 was a real fun year, everybody. Welcome to 1958. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hi. Yep, Coldrake just give you the entire breakdown of what a broken arrow was. It was fun time. So, project rules.
Yes.
Why don't we start with Roe Walters? You were working on a project.
I finished my other project.
Okay, so you
I
did
was
not have
starting
one
a
for
new
this year?
project.
Yep.
Yeah. I was starting a new project, and the project that I was going to be starting this year, is so the Walters, and by the again, Walters family real small, real tiny, y'all. Ro, all he wants in life is just to make sure that no matter what happens, what happened back in right before World War II, wouldn't ever happen again. That there would be security for the family no matter what. So, in his attempts to continue that, they've got their little store now. Their new ambition is a little bit larger than a small little storefront. Now they would like to kind of get into the production business, like making things, because that seems to be where technology is kind of heading. So they kind of want to get their foot in the door and figure out how to do that. And so I would say that their project is kind of learning the biz a little bit, like learning where to like begin to invest to get into like the technology business and production, because you could always start your own, you know you could like rent out a building, a warehouse, and buy machines, but if you don't know the right people, you don't know your correct people, you're never gonna really make a good business. My headphones are dying, give me 1 second.
Okay, it's fine. It's fair.
There we go. I just kept hearing beeping and it was making me nervous. Yeah, so I would like to spend the year or these couple of years kind of in the same way where I tried to make connections for my small little store. I want to make connections now for manufacturing, essentially. Production, manufacturing, same difference. If you will allow it, that is what I would like.
Sure.
Otherwise, I can come up with something else.
Nope, you can do. I would say that that's probably a 4, maybe.
4.
Yeah. To decide, 4 seems appropriate. So you need 2d6 plus whatever your modifier is.
2d6 plus. It was 4. Yep, it was 4. 15.
So 2 ticks in your box plus an additional 3. Carry over.
Okay. And then I had 5 prior. Okay. Okay.
And then so 5 and if you had 5 prior plus those 3, that's another 8, so you have 3 ticks.
Oh, there we go.
So you have 2 left over.
Got it.
Indeed. And also, I want to give another shout out. Thank you, Jim, for that wonderful news recording and the introduction of Edwin McDonald. Really appreciate that. Go follow Other Doc on Twitch and Twitter. It is a lot of fun. Hey, Trooper. Welcome back. We're doing project roles.
I know. I wrote this down. I want to make sure I actually have it in the right spot. But the Peter's best pal, his best pal, sort of had sent his daughter off to away, I think is the best way. That and I know that my best buddy is probably feeling a little bit bad about it. And so because of that, rather than work on his own family project, Peter has spent the last 3 years, helping his pal with his family project, because it means that he can go and hang out with his pal. They can play bridge and hang out in libraries and translate stuff. And, maybe he won't feel so bad that his daughter is off in
Boarding school.
away.
She
Yeah,
went to
you know-
boarding school.
Naughty magical
Yeah.
grad school. Yeah, that's not bad. That's right.
Y-
Like,
Yeah.
She's 13.
Yeah.
mm, not
Yeah.
an impressionable age.
but-
Not at all.
I'm just saying that there's a bit of a vibe that my pal seemed a little, and so I'm just gonna go to help out with my pal.
Also, now for like, what was it, like the last year or so, there haven't been any like Young just been off in college, so like both houses are like
Yeah.
pretty much
empty.
Yeah,
Just the nest is super empty. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah.
So Peter would sort of put a pause on the Musgrove family project to go and give this project roll over, to the Quans because they're really good friends. So let me roll my project roll, which is 2d6 plus, I believe, 4 for my last event, which was, I believe I had growth last time. So that should be,
It's pinned.
I
pinned it.
yeah, no, I also I just have to check my list of
Oh yeah, it's pinned.
historical events. Yep, it is growth.
Plus 4.
wha- Yes, plus 4. In the last 3 years, the Musgroves have been they got growth for the last time, which means this time around they found some Muskogee texts, which he's been working on looking at, and trying to sort of, again, the projects try to find their very, very sacred and important historical land. That is what they've been working on, although they have been working on other stuff for other folks at the moment. But that is the justification for the growth. They found some old Muskogee texts, which have helped them a little bit, maybe more if they spent more time on it. But that is that. However, this time they're going to go and help out their best friend, in 11 to the Quans.
11 to the Quans. That's good. Lynn,
Yes.
you up.
All right. Well, I think our last one was still we're finishing. We're like, I think 1 or 2 ticks away from getting that information about the further information about the neighborhood. I think that's what we're trying to do.
Yep.
Now there's a good 9 months of the year where there's no one else here, so this will give us a lot of research time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 plus. I had the same thing. I had growth. I think I've had for the last every session. So it's a +4. I should know this by now. Also, so 2d6 plus 4. Let's see. No. There we go. Also an 11.
So that's 22.
Look at that.
So that's 3 successes
Mhm.
plus 4. And so yeah, that's really good. Almost done.
Almost done.
Hey, Lindy.
Excellent.
Hello.
How are you?
Just fine. Fine. The Ardelene's project. Oh, I've kind of been flip-flopping between, figuring out what the next war is gonna be and how can we be on the winning side of it. And maybe trying to take a peek behind that curtain over Russia and Eastern Europe. See how life is for others over there. I'm kind of leaning towards the latter because I'm curious.
I will tell you, for you, it would be 3 to
Okay.
get behind the Iron Fog.
Okay. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We'll try to get behind the Iron Fog. Because if shit gets too bad here, we can always send the vampires back home. That that kind of thing. So yeah, that sounds good. Let me look at my thing that I had from last week.
Maybe it's like a vampire like haven over there. There's no, I mean,
It-
there's
it
no
could
sun. There's no
be.
sun.
We
Maybe.
don't know. We don't know. See, so we don't know. I mean, the damp here are fine over here, but maybe it's things are looking iffy lately. Gosh, technology.
Mhm.
Oof. Oof. So, it looks like I had. Oh, did I not write down how much I had left over? I finished a project though, so I guess maybe I don't have any left over. So yeah, +6. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. 15.
So 2 successes plus 3.
Cool. Take it.
Pope.
So originally we were going to try and, draw a baseball team, but given the current circumstances and news, I think the family's going to pivot.
Oh,
Yeah, though, it's going to be a few years before this comic makes an appearance, but I'm getting strong Magneto vibes. And think need to get some future proofing done. So step one of said future proofing is I think the family is going to be investing in apocalypse proofing the holdings. Because things are getting testy around here. So I think it might be some bunker time.
I mean, I would like to point out that many people invested very strongly in their fallout shelters in the 1950s.
Not, but with this family, it's more than just nukes.
That's fair.
Since we've seen and participated in an apocalypse or two, so we need to get things ready. So how many steps is that? 5, 6?
I would say, like, it depends how you're starting, right? Like, I need a little more detail. What exactly are we calling apocalypse proofing? Are you going for a fallout shelter and then, more?
So using magic, pretty much making a family version of NORAD.
Oh. Yeah. Deep space telemetry.
We don't really have many mountains in Georgia, but we can make the magical equivalent of a mountain.
There are actually 2 really famous mountains in Georgia.
I know
I don't think you want to be associated with at least one
either.
of them.
Yeah, no. Especially since considering what side we were on in that war.
Yeah.
Though that would be funny to have it underneath there. But as much as that tickles a sick part of my brain, no, we're sticking in Savannah and trying to, on top of digging and using titanium's a wonderful material.
Do you need to borrow some shovels?
This is backhoe investment.
I bet they have backhoes as well. There's one thing I know about the Ardelines. They seem to have shovels,
We've got digging
backhoes,
implements,
pickaxes.
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need to either excavate or bury things, I feel like they've got you covered.
See, in
we
that
need
case,
to excavate
One of
two
our
berry things.
storefront in town is just like the
I would
cat
I would
equipment,
say-
like backhoes.
I would say the first stage of apocalypse proofing, building the fallout shelter itself, is going to be a 4 tick.
Okay.
Because you need to get building permits. Now, usually it'd be one thing, but you're trying to dig a basement in Savannah.
It can be done.
It can be done, but y'all are on the swamp side of Savannah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also why the magic's going to also be involved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're gonna have to get HOA approval.
Hmm.
Well, we do have a vote and a board member, so we
The
will.
Ardelines would be willing to also, since we have a board member in the HOA as well, to be like, yes, that is a, you got two at least.
So, well, yeah, no, four sounds reasonable for step one, which is pulling all the permits.
You know, pulling all the permits, digging the hole, getting all of that done.
Well, let's go that route. Because once we have a defensive structure set up, i.e., a lair, then we can progress forward with other plans. 17.
So, 2 successes with 5 left over of your 4. And I did tell people 1958 was going to be a little bit different. And I warned my players in advance that things were going to be changing and that drama was coming. And it's perhaps a real good thing that the Gwillums have a vote on the board, and perhaps so do the Ardelines. Because certain people decided to make their move.
Uh-oh.
Look, it pays to be a board officer sometimes, is what I'm saying.
It does indeed. This particular move is being made by the Smiths of 59 Timberland Drive, which is on the other side of the Adirondack Road. Close, their property has a nice little bit bigger backyard than y'all do because their property borders up onto high school. And they are making a move in this particular instance to change certain voting regulations of the HOA. Specifically, I think they're moving to divide the HOA. Subdivision has gotten so large and people don't really know folks anymore. And why, there are entire groups of people that I've never even met in this neighborhood. They don't come to the HOA meetings. They don't vote in things. And really, do you want those sorts involved in the decisions around here? So, you are all, the Smiths are making their move. Their first move is to basically effectively change the voting or the regulations of the HOA and divide the subdivision into remove people that certain people find distasteful.
Oh, like the Smiths? They're gonna remove themselves from our subdivision? Oh, how
good.
nice of them.
Nice of them. Good.
Yeah.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
Where, looking at the big version of the map, where is this dividing line? Because if the dividing line just cuts them out, then is that even really a problem? Then they get to go be hanging out by themselves. It just depends on where the line is. Yeah. So now please note, my family is not a member of the HOA because we do not have that much HOA power. So this is stuff we'd find out afterwards. But I bet other people do know. So what is their dividing line?
Hold, please. Oh, hold on. I have to do 2 things while I'm thinking of them. Otherwise, I will totally forget. So give me 2 seconds. And then I will give you the explanation that you are asking for.
So I imagine the Ardelines and the Gwillums would know this, since they have been invited into the HOA. I'm sure they would.
Yes. So if you are looking at the big map, which for those of you playing on at home, is the first slide.
Second slide.
The big one, the full size scale one is on yours. It's the second one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Number 3. Slide 1 is Carousel Court. Number 2 is the zoomed in. Number 3 is the big one.
Okay, so big one. Is actually, you cannot see it. It's technically beyond this map. Well, this is crap. So right after the last house on the left, literally.
14.
Number 14.
14, and there's actually one house further beyond it. After that property right there, So there's 14, and then there's a property, and after that
So
property,
13 basically.
so
would have
13
been,
is that there's a road there called Adirondack Road, and I will actually put it. Fun facts: you can. This is a lot. This is a map you can actually pinpoint on this larger scale map. And what I'm going to do is this and bring up attempt to do a thing quickly, very quickly, and that is zoop.
Just saying the Smiths sound really anti-other. Maybe they should have a tragic accident or something.
I mean,
Maybe
perhaps
they just
it
fall
is.
into an open hole.
I should also
It
point out that
happens.
she's her husband's also running for governor.
So they have a lot to lose then.
Oh,
Oh.
sudden illnesses
It would be a
happen all the time.
tragic
Ew.
accident.
Real tragic
Yeah.
car accident. Oh,
Cars are still really new, you know,
still dangerous. you know,
yeah.
safety ratings.
Okay.
Seatbelts aren't really a
Seatbelts.
thing.
Who
you
wears
know?
those?
That large
So
bird
now-
just dropped that rock out of the sky.
So
Who
now,
knew?
if you look at this map, this is the actual clip of the subdivision
Yes,
in its current
I'm-
state.
I see that. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Adirondack.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
You see where Adirondack is?
Mm-hmm.
She's basically saying cut Adirondack and then just cut Cumberland Drive and just doop doop and cut you all off from everything.
Oh.
Everything north of Cumberland Drive and
No.
everything east of Adirondack.
The answer is
She wants to keep
So-
all the she
so-
wants to keep all the parks.
East of
Well,
Adirondack.
but there are parks
and
south,
north
right?
of Timberland Drive.
We have
Everything
this
east of Timberland Drive and north of or everything east of Adirondack and north of Timberland Drive. What she wants to do
So south of Timberland, where, for example, the Sycamores, Grimes, Solanos, and Lafayette's live, would be separated from us.
Yeah.
Mm.
well,
Oh, so she wait, now hold on
she
though. You
wants to
said
do this.
oh, you said east of Adirondack.
Yeah.
East of
Yes,
Adirondack.
east of Adirondack. Yeah,
She wants to carve
East?
y'all out right there.
yeah. Just that little one. I don't think she knows who lives on
Hey,
the
that
loop
park is-
across the way from us.
She does know that the Gwillums live there.
Yes,
Of course, the
and the
golf course is there.
Walters.
Now,
Makes
if she
sense that
takes that,
Eldridges are there.
Mm-hmm.
now if she takes that spot up there, which is that spot from
No.
Adirondack to Skidway.
Adirondack to Skidway and north of Timberland. She just wants to cut out of the HOA and
She
takes
doesn't
everything
want
else.
that.
Oh, she doesn't
She
want
wants
them
everything
in.
else. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
She wants
She knows
to evict
there's
all
some
of you.
others in there, but I don't think she knows about the Solanos, Grimes, Sycamores, and Lafayette's being others because they are south
Well,
of Timberland.
And the Lafayettes do have votes in the HOA, so we'll see how
They
that goes.
do have votes in the HOA.
We're like
yeah.
right. Just like right on there.
Now I have to ask, where is the country club? Because I'm a board officer of the country club.
It's the pin that says Forest. Well,
Forest Park,
yeah.
Forest
yeah,
Hills Park.
The Forest Hills golf course.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
golf
That's the
course.
country club.
Of course.
How
Damn,
dare
that
you
golf
cut
course.
the
Yeah,
country
makes
club out
sense.
of my HOA? I'm a board officer of the country club.
She wants to take everything. Like I said, she wants to keep the parks and get rid of y'all.
the answer is no.
No.
And the answer is no in an emphatic way.
This is why you're gonna have
I
to make
would-
a roll.
I would like to make a defense roll using magic because that is what the family does. We are exceptionally good at curses.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And our magic rating is 95 currently.
Mm-hmm.
So you said it's 2d6 plus 1d6 for every tens place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it would be
So
11d6.
11d6.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you have any, you all will get a defense because she is actively it's a house action that she is taking against all of you. Because now
Yeah.
I should also point out that as duly implied by the newsreel, she has joined a coalition. So there are a number of other people. She is the big name because
But
she
not others. people.
but not others people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, we
so
will. We will find
so
out
there- so
who they are.
when I make the roll, I want everybody to understand what I'm about
Gotta
to
eat
say
sometime.
mechanically speaking. When I make this roll,
Mhm.
it's a combined roll for the coalition that she's acting with. It's not just her.
Okay.
Okay.
I
That's
will
why
use,
she will have a significant number
And
of
then
dice.
other people, other NPCs, like I imagine the Lafayettes may not be thrilled about that.
Yes,
or
other
the
NPCs
Grams
are
and
going to
Sycamores
other NPCs
roll against her as well.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I have to make NPC rolls for all of the NPCs that are on the sheet right now, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I will use the bonus die generously given to me.
Okay.
So I will
so you're-
12d6, keep the best 11.
So you are rolling magic because you are going to try and curse her. Trooper.
What is the? This is not relevant to me, but it is relevant
That's
to
a
others,
lot of sixes,
including
Pope.
including the Gwillums. What is the role of having HOA votes? Because I know that the Gwillums and the Ardelines, I don't know about others, have at least board members, voting members, and proxy votes. And what do those do?
Those are giving you, well, on one hand, they give you 8 house fortune rolls. And on this particular instance, if you chose HOA as your defense, that would be something different. Gwillem is, Pope is not. He chose magic as his defense, which is entirely fair and valid, and why I said you could take multiple actions here. She is choosing to use HOA as her action, but she is using it as a combination with others, but not others. And she is, which is why she's getting their votes to make her
Yeah,
roll.
so my total is 53.
Thank you. I will make my roll as soon as everyone else tells me what action they're taking to defend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all of the NPC families have to make rolls. But yes, that's her first movement. So, we know what Pope's doing. Lynn, what are you doing?
If the Gwillums are doing curses, I think if we're semi-organized in opposing this thing, we can work on the boons and blessings portion of it.
Mm.
If people are going to represent our aspect of things in the HOA, we can give certain charms and blessings that will help. Every little bit helps.
Okay, so you're gonna roll magic as your defense?
I'm gonna
then?
roll magic and
Mhm.
roll 5 because there. So 5d6s.
Yes. So
Oh, dice, come on. I guess you're rolling the dice. What are you doing? Whoa, no, that is not.
yeah, that didn't roll. That didn't roll right.
There we go. 21.
21. Very nice. Okay. Lindy.
The Ardelines are about to be those people, and I'm here for it. As much as we want to just drain the life out of the opposition, there was another way that people did things back in the day. Harken back to the good old 14, 15, 1600s. Marta has told young Opal, who's now 30, well, if you can't conquer them by draining them dry and leaving the bodies to rot on posts outside of the front yard, opulence. Let people know who throws the best parties in town.
Ooh.
People want to know people who have money, so I'm rolling wealth.
You're rolling wealth. Very nice.
I'm rolling wealth. Because people who might be a little undecided in the HOA be like, oh wait, but the Ardelines do run this, and they do throw the best parties, and they do, at the country club and things. And if the Ardelines aren't in the HOA anymore, who's going to fund the Christmas party? Who's going to fund the annual this, that, the other thing? The Ardelines, they're gonna flaunt their wealth a little bit. And I don't think I've said my wealth score in a while, but it's currently 142. So, because I have investments, and I've been saving a little bit just to spare. So, yeah, it was in the 160s, but then like once upon a time I had to shift some things over, and So that's how many d6? It's
A D6.
1 for every 10s plus 2.
Your
so
core roll is 2.
216.
Yeah, I went through the warfare rules in the Sword Chronicle book. It was overly complicated, and I felt that this made more sense. Sorry, Sword Chronicle. Green
46.
Ronin.
I rolled a lot of ones.
You
But I had a
did.
lot of dice to roll, so it made up for it.
You did. It did.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's still a respectable roll.
It is a respectable roll. Hey, PB.
Hi. You know, similar idea, different approach. I would like to be a little bit more boots on the ground. I would like to go around and help out with handing out flyers, talking to people, being charming, letting people know that both sides of the road are exactly the same and everyone should be playing on those parks just the same. Cause you and I and anyone else, we're all the same, just a little different under the hood. And I would also like to use wealth to try and help bolster that. Use now I'm not fucking. I don't have 100 and whatever. I have a modest 50 in my wealth, but that helps a little bit. And I'd like to use that to hand out flyers and stuff.
And if you have warfare as a player character, you can count those as bonus dice.
Well then I will be using that also.
Oh, didn't know that. Should roll 3 more.
Okay, yes. If you didn't, I'm sorry, I did put that in, I didn't re-specify. So if you have extra dice to roll, those are bonus dice, you can re-roll them, and then we can do math.
I'll let all of y'all roll that first.
Yeah, so if you have warfare, those are bonus dice.
And it was a 2 base, right?
Mm-hmm. 2 base.
Our active character has warfare, or anyone in the
Your
house?
active character.
I don't think Opal does. Oh, I do have 2 warfare. Not any extra. So.
Okay.
5.
So everybody roll their extra dice.
Oh, 6.
Okay.
52.
All right. No. No. Because
That's
they're
fine.
bonus dice. So you drop 2 of the ones, and then you add 4 and 6, or you added 6 instead. So it's 44, and 6 is 50. Because the warfare are bonus dice, not
Oh, okay.
not
yeah,
cute
yeah,
dice.
yeah.
Cool. But yeah, so I dropped 2 of the ones and then add
Yeah.
6. Yeah.
3.
Still better.
All right, so then I would drop the 3 lowest because I have 3 warfare die.
Yeah. So you drop. You
the
dropped
2 1 and a
4.
2.
You dropped 4.
Yeah, 4.
So it's 27.
7.
Good to know.
I'm just gonna type 27 for me,
Yep.
just so I know.
And then Trooper.
The Musgroves, Peter Musgrove is a pacifist, does not engage in conflict. And also, each PC has a vice, and his vice is foolish, so he will not be participating in said conflict that goes against his belief system.
Okay.
So you will not roll.
All right. You will not roll.
Also, he has no members on the HOA. He doesn't even know what's happening.
Oh no, it's real public. She's been real public about this.
Yes, well,
And
That's
You
no-
are
to
you are you are the
clarify-
corner. You are the corner of the property.
To clarify, the Eldritch, they're in the roundabout of Carousel Court. That's the same Eldritch from the
Yes.
same Captain Eldritch family.
Yeah, the George Kit Eldridge. Kit lives in the house, and his parents, Harlan and Yasmin, are live in their property in town or outside of town
Okay.
on Tybee. Because, look, while history won't let us know what happened to that particular nuclear warhead that may or may not actually be a dummy, nobody knows, that was jettisoned out of the back of a bomber on February 5th, 1958. The Eldridges are sound tiger sharks, and they live on Tybee, and there's no way in hell they were leaving a possible nuclear device hanging around outside their waters. It's a lot easier to find that when you're in shapeshift into a sound tiger shark and can just find it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Also, you have a whole mess of family that can help you do so. So yeah. Here we go.
Also quietly, not without.
Yeah, you just had to make an announcement about finding it because of legal reasons. All right, here we go.
Not finders keepers rules.
I hope I wrote that right. Yes, I did.
Boy, that's the last 6s.
So it's a 53. Is what she rolls. Now, I make some rolls for a whole bunch of NPCs.
I also imagine that Peter's probably busy with other things right now. You know.
Yes.
You know.
But she has begun a flyer campaign and going door to door. She's also invited a bunch of people, to tea at her house. Some of the ladies groups. Now,
yes, those cockroaches that interrupt the tea time.
Well, we'll find out. So the Apostles we're gonna roll the Apostles first, and
Okay, we had a much better tea time at the country club at the exact time that her tea time was held, and it was way better.
The Apostles are joining in the magical defense through misdirection, encouraging people to not be there. Luckily, what's her name? Hadasina is quite popular, but so is her husband, Oliver, because he comes from a very old family in Savannah, so they're going to work with their reputation.
That makes sense.
They
checks out.
Excuse me, not reputation, influence. They're going to work with their influence, because same thing, just I misspoke what the number would be. So this is cool. So 16, not great. Well, the Grimes, Nora Grimes doesn't, or excuse me, Hazel Grimes kind of has some opinions about this and is trying to encourage the ladies coalition, but they are not. Look, the Grimes are low man on the totem pole, literally. Even after multiple moves to try and get things better, they are just not, is the answer. And so they roll a 14. Eldridge's. Well, Kit Eldridge is going to use his very fine. They're also going to use their influence, and he's going to get he's getting a bonus dice because he's been on the. As much as people may not like others, it's a lot easier to say, "Hi, we found a nuclear warhead that was hanging out in your body of water." I was on the TV about it and everything.
Also on the TV that he was part of the Navy fighting U-boats, so that's kind of a thing.
And he does have warfare. Because he is, and I can totally math. 27. He just rolled poorly. The Solanos. Solanos are just gonna go for money and try and buy votes. Ari Solano does not like
Good
this.
for
but
you.
She also
It's a
has
valid
reasons.
method.
Mhm.
Violence or opulence? We chose opulence.
She does not.
Sometimes vampires don't choose violence. We're gonna use this in case we get outed later and be like, look, we could have just murdered the Smiths, but we
Could have
didn't.
eaten all of you.
Could have eaten all of them, but we didn't. Because we're reasonable people sometimes.
And Robin McLeod has recently gotten married.
Oh shit!
Oh
Really?
my.
To who? Wait, no, this
Nobody-
is exciting for me. I've been watching Robin McLeod status updates like Twitter every game.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, kind of same though. I was like, oh, Opal didn't
you're-
meet him. She met the boy next door instead.
It's
so.
been quiet, but it has been the guilty pleasure.
Everybody's been following Robin McLeod and what he been doing.
Like when he was coming home late last session with looking all tired, I was like, "Oh, what's happening over there?" Unfortunately, some kids jumped into my yard, so I didn't get a chance to ask. But I was wondering.
His wife's name is Alyssa, by the way, Alyssa,
Mhm.
and they
Oh,
are
we must
recently
have them over.
they are recently married, and she
Good for
is-
them.
And they met in Scotland when he went over there.
Oh, isn't that
Oh.
Yes.
We must have
Mm.
them over.
nice?
And
Can I come over too?
he's just gonna
Please?
he's going to take the advantage of the fact that, well, they have a shit ton of land and property and know a lot of people because of it, and have a lot of real estate friends and a lot of probate judges and a lot of, perhaps one might say, board, town planning to goes with it. So he also has warfare. So, really, fun fact, he and Kit Eldridge have the same role. Haha. I can
Oh.
figure out math. Oh, but he rolls better than Kit does. Only by 2. The Sycamores. Sycamores, fun fact, are going to use their magic and, actually, no, they're going to use their influence. And attempt...
I thought about influence
Yeah.
or HOA,
They,
but I was like,
they're going to
5
use their...
versus 14.
They're going
Also,
to...
again, opulence.
They're going to use their influence, and because the Sycamores really are, owning the largest botanical garden in town, owning a lot of the nature preserve, being on really good terms with a large number of important people, they have a really good role for this. So, they're going to roll. Here we go. Alright. Boom. They roll a 37. Sycamores are doing all right. Who we got next? Oh, the Lafayettes. The Lafayettes said, "Fuck this shit." The Lafayettes said, "Fuck all y'all." No. I own I have a double wide property here. You're trying to cut me off from various things that I want. You don't fuck with that.
No.
The Fae. You can say it. We know. It's okay.
Look, this is
It's an open secret. Like we all know, we just don't say anything.
We don't.
We-
It's the
we
house
go
that
out
gets
links.
skipped over in trick or treating. It's like we don't have food from the Fae.
No,
We don't go
no.
they
home
don't
to
put anything.
dinner.
They don't put. Well, that's not true. They put out bread and salt on Halloween.
I still don't do it. I still don't.
I
But
don't
that's
have
all
any
they do.
kids. It's no reason.
But they also have a nice roll.
They do.
Nice.
Warfare is a good thing to have when you
Mhm.
are of a certain age and demographic.
Yep.
That's why Marta has a bunch.
the
Oh, cool.
halls,
For 30
the halls, the halls are just gonna go ahead and attempt to use their HOA rating. And because they are also board member, they have 2 votes on the HOA, which means they get an extra D6 for those extra votes, and they don't. They're keep dice, not bonus dice, unlike Warfare. So, mathing. So that would be that plus this. Cool. 27. That's actually a really good, pretty good roll for that. Who
Are they attacking through their HOA score?
Yeah. No, that's why they got 2, because they have their HOA score is in the 50s, so they have 5. Oh no, wait, it would be 2 more. Sorry. Thank you. 7.
34.
34. Because it's 2d6 plus their HOA score plus the 2 that they have for their votes. That's why I messed that up. Thank you very much for helping me, Trooper. I appreciate it. The Jazzajas. The Jazzajas are also joining the Magic Coalition, and
If the Smiths don't like it, they can leave. We probably won't stop them.
We'll find out. Not the best roll for them. And then last but certainly never least, the Fouchés. And the Fouchés also have 2 votes on the HOA, which they are going to use as they attempt to make a defense, because Anastasia Fouché has been her book club is very famous in the neighborhood. What was I doing? Adesina. No, Anastasia. Anastasia Fouché, HOA, 2 votes, adds to that, which gives me... Did I do math? I did math. I am smart. Future me is smart. 23. Cool. That is all of the NPCs that I have to account for. And I have to go all the way back up here. So the roll was 53. Now, what you need for this to kill them in the water, kill them dead in the water, is you need a majority of player and NPCs to have rolled high enough to beat her. Otherwise, those families that did roll high enough are protected, but that doesn't protect everybody else. Right? And it means that she lives to take another, well, their family can continue to maneuver. They just didn't succeed in this one. So, what have we got? We've got... Well, we know that the Ardalines and the Gwillums beat at 53. I need... Oh, and there are the Lafayettes. So that's not a majority of all of the players in NPC houses to kill it dead in the water. What it does do is kill this... It can protect all of those 3 families. Those of you who were unsuccessful in defeating their coalition, well, they still survive. And how does their... So we're gonna go around and let everybody tell me what it looks like when the Smiths are successful against a particular family, or how your family did not succeed in what it wanted to do. That seem fair? But those of you who succeeded get to tell me how you did succeed. But you can't kill her or end the entire family line because not enough of you succeeded to do that.
Oh no, the murder doesn't happen now.
Okay, well the murder's I'm just letting you know. So why don't we start with the family that the pacifist family that did not engage?
Peter's in prison.
Right?
Oh, how did
Yes.
Peter end up in prison?
Well, he was brought up before the HUAC committee.
Ooh, how did he end up in front of HUAC?
Well, his daughters denounced him for being a communist. And because he would not name names, he was held in contempt of Congress and put in prison.
Yes. That's not a good thing. Federal prison, at least, however, is slightly better than, Georgia state prison.
Oh, his daughters changed their names, by the way, to something a bit more Anglo.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Yeah. They're not. I mean, they were named Senek and Senauki, and that is not a good all-American name. They're now Sally and Susie, and they will not be going by Musgrove. They'll be going by Masters, which is a better name. And while off at college, Duke and Notre Dame, they wrote a letter to Congress. They're part of the Young Republicans and the Young Americans for Freedoms, and they just let everybody know that their father was a dirty red, and that the HUAC committee should probably look into that. And they did, and they called him up, and because he does not participate in those sorts of things, he said, absolutely yes, I am a communist, and no, I will not name any names. And so he was sent to prison for contempt of Congress, and that is how the Musgrove family lost that role.
What is your wife doing?
I don't know, because he's in prison for a while for
Yeah.
contempt of Congress. I'm trying to find out how long they put you in prison for contempt of Congress.
They can't. Well, I can tell you what the answer is now, but I can't tell you what it was in 1958. That's sad. The answer is if you're in
I'm
contempt.
looking it up.
If you're in contempt, oh, good. Let us know. We'll know exactly how long Peter was in prison, in federal prison in Georgia.
That's how the Musgrove family lost that role.
Yeah. So then, Lynn, how'd you lose?
I'm still thinking, so I passed for right now.
The Hollywood 10 were held in contempt of Congress.
Yeah, but
and
half
they
of,
were.
But half. Yeah. How long were they held? But they weren't held for.
They were convicted of contempt and fined $1,000 each, which would be over $10,000. It's over 10 grand now, and sentenced to 6 months to 1 year prison terms.
Yeah, but they weren't actually. They didn't actually serve that because those were overturned.
Question is, when was that overturned?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, no, it's all because they got appeals into it, but it's like, so it's 6 months. Let's say 6 months. Then I guess the Walters family.
Due to rising tensions and their very obvious campaigning for, vote no on separating us, still not out with what they are, but obviously out as other. I think they had to. So what the Walters family does is during the week, they're always out at the store. They're always, hands-on with whatever money-making thing they're doing. But is it really bad? Should I skip and then just do the thing, or is the crackling bearable?
It's what you want.
Hold on. Okay. All right. Am I still crackling now?
Oh, it's more.
That's worse.
Yeah, we'll come
Right,
back
I
to you.
can
I'm
go.
sorry,
I
PB.
can. I figured out. I think.
Okay, you figured it out?
Yeah, I think this has been kind of a what was it I think I forgot I've been thinking about the second character. Oh, Daehoon. Daehoon's been more kind of like neutral in a bunch of things, and I think this has been kind of a wake up call. So I think he is going to kind of take possibly ill advice, but we'll see. His heart's in the right place from from Peter, and like get organized, like or start organizing with some of the others that are at least known at this point, kind of like get politically organized, with also probably by prodding of his daughter as well. So it's like tensions have like it's uncomfortable, and it's something he can't really ignore at this moment, like at the current time.
Okay. So tensions are rising. He's going to start acting out, he's going to join the other folks then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Then want to try it, PB? Okay. I'll come back to you when you let me know. Well then let's do all the players first, and then I'll talk about what happened from the NPCs that failed. Hope. You cursed them.
Yes. Seems that Ms. Smith's husband made a number of political gaffes out on the campaign trail.
Yeah.
Some of which are getting him held for defamation by the mouse.
I mean, it is 1958. Yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Those lawyers are colder than anyone here. They don't need to be supernatural. Enjoy your wealth while you can.
Interesting move. I appreciate it. Lynn. No, not Lynn. Lynn D.
Hi, I have a question.
Yep.
I don't understand what happened. Can you please explain? Like, did the neighborhood get separated?
No,
yes
that's
or
the
no?
neighborhood. They did not succeed in getting the neighborhood separated, but he
Okay.
didn't wipe them out.
No. Okay, so if the neighborhood didn't get separated, how can anyone win or lose?
Because they can
Like-
they still made an action. It's like in warfare,
just-
right? Like if they're
Okay.
invading, they wanted to invade this territory.
Yes.
They didn't succeed in conquering it, but they did
No.
wipe out a bunch of units that were defending it.
Think of attrition.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Let's go with that.
Think of it.
Everything's fine for the Ardeleans. I don't I don't understand. It's
No,
fine.
it's like, how do you harm them, right? Like, you've harmed them. How?
Yes.
You haven't killed
Yes.
them yet. They're still there. But how do you harm them?
No.
The problem is, realistically speaking, they had grabbed enough of a coalition that you needed a majority. You needed a
Yes.
majority of people to.
Who all was in their coalition? How many houses did they have on their side? Because if they weren't rolling as an individual, I don't understand why we were all rolling as an individual and not as another coalition.
Because you chose to move as, and I offered the option of you rolling based on HOA or whatever you wanted,
Yes.
and they chose to roll all together on HOA, and there were
Okay. I did not know this. So thank you for explaining that to me.
Yep.
Um
There were 5 houses that were rolled together,
Okay.
and the Smiths had the vote on the board. None of the other houses had
Okay.
votes on the board.
So out of curiosity, how much is a board member's vote worth? On a
A
HOA?
D6.
Just
For
curious.
this roll, it was a D6. If you had
okay.
chosen
Then
it
I have
as an
further
HOA.
follow-up questions. Just because I'm trying to understand
No,
the
no, no,
mechanics
I
here.
totally understand.
And how, because they do not make sense at all to me at this moment in time.
This is okay.
So you
I
have
fully understand.
board officer, board member, voting member, additional proxy votes. Do all those just one vote each? Are they different denominations?
No,
Are
for
they
this is one for this they're for a vote they're only one vote each, which means that they would have only
Okay.
been 1d6 each.
So what is the why we even bother being a board officer when you could just like
Because
what
it
is
gives
the
you
point?
because it gives you a higher point on house fortune rolls.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I don't know for the Ardelines. They
Okay.
flaunted their opulence. They're like, hey, we're better. I don't.
Yeah,
Just- I don't- I'm good.
you did flaunt your opulence. You are now okay. So now then you're the house to be seen in the neighborhood. Everyone wants to hang out with you, and nobody wants to hang out with anybody else. The thing about this is, realistically, Lindy, I will fully explain. I looked at the warfare rules that are actually in the mechanics and went, wow, this is A, really complicated, and B, makes things even worse. So rather than
Yeah,
do
it
that,
seems complicated. That's why
It
I was
is.
like, I don't
This-
understand this.
this is-
I can't answer this question if I don't understand.
these are the simplified rules that I basically took and was like, these are overly complicated. Let me make it simpler. So what you did was, if you were actually doing this, if this was actual warfare, you could only use your actual defense score. And if you had any units that you had bought with that defense score, that would give you a bonus to that roll. But also, they were only bonus dice and not firm dice, and you couldn't use anything else. And I was like, okay, well, you might choose to use other other thing to defend against, right?
Sure.
So in this
Can
case,
I do a quick little test and you
yes,
tell
there
me
we
if,
go.
Oh, you
I
sound
sound
clear.
fine?
you sound clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess the Ardelines are better people to hang out with than the Smiths. Everyone
Yes.
like
So
yeah.
and you used wealth,
I
right?
use wealth.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you succeeded, you will get a bonus d6 to your house fortune roll at the end of the night,
Okay. So yeah, that's
because
just,
you have a
since
better
we use
reputation
wealth,
right now.
Yeah, we're more of the people to hang out with than the Smiths.
Yeah. Okay, so PB.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm nervous about my sound. Yes, Walters, usually what they do is during the week, they like hands-on, always working, doing their thing. But on the weekend, they head off to do other activities and get things for the store, obviously. But they're not in town. And typically they've left the shop to either trusted friends to like cover, or more recently to trusted friends' children on the weekend, with like supervision, etc. And so I think with this failure that I think that the Walters have stayed in town instead of leaving, which has added a new dynamic as to where they have to find certain people to help them on the weekends. And it's added it's been very difficult to find people that they don't know, or maybe won't say anything about their extracurricular activities. And I think that I think it's hit their reputation. I think their reputation has taken a hit because they've had to stay in town, and they try to not do extracurriculars during the weekend, but it is
So is the
too
rumor
difficult.
is the rumor going around that you all are cheating or that you're swingers?
You know what? It depends who got out first. I'm gonna roll a d2. The wife is 1, Ro is 2. It's out. Rumor is that we're swingers. And that is the rumor right now. That's circulating.
I mean, it's a little early,
Savannah.
but it's, you know. not unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the 70s yet. It won't be real popular for a while, but
Head of the curve.
ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
End of the
you
curve.
know, modern.
So the Lafayettes do not care for the Smiths.
They're not alone.
No.
Same, honestly.
And the Lafayettes are very good at certain things. And perhaps you might have Michael Grillam has been getting a few visits from the Lafayettes. Specifically, Karadec and his good friend Colonel Fitzryan. And contracts have been reviewed, and where possible, not renewed, and where further possible, called in. Let's say outstanding loans have been called in upon the Smith family and a couple of their associates, which, by the way, you knocked one of the associates off the board altogether, so you're only down to 4 families total, and challenging you all at the moment. Yes. True.
The members of the Hollywood 10 did actually serve their prison sentences.
Okay.
And there were 2 people who also defied the HUAC in 1958 in Atlanta.
There we go.
Frank Wilkinson and also Carl Braden. They were sentenced to a year in prison. And Wilkinson's case went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, absolutely, you can be sent to prison for invoking your First Amendment rights. And Carl Braden had Martin Luther King Jr. say, hey, this is not messed up. You should not send him to prison. And he was also still sent to prison, though he was released after sending 9 months of his 1-year prison sentence. That was Atlanta. And he was convicted for, defying HUAC and also integrating neighborhoods, which apparently was inappropriate. So,
yeah, by the way, they invoked the wrong thing. Don't invoke your First Amendment, invoke your Fifth Amendment. Hashtag not lawyer advice.
didn't really matter. Some people did fifth, some people did first. They would say basically freedom of assembly. We're allowed to assemble with who we want. And they were like,
no, it's the Fifth Amendment is
yes,
you can't testify against yourself. Non-incrimination.
Yeah, that's yeah. But they were like, no, I am a communist and I'm allowed to have those beliefs. That's actually not illegal. And they're like, aha. Anyhow,
I agree with you.
Right,
but
58 in this moment right here. So like a year and $1,000 fine.
Out of curiosity, can the Musgroves pay that?
Probably not. They're poor. That's a lot of money. That's probably also why, prison failure of the role of that. They're in the poor tier of wealth.
So, like I said, the Lafayettes are calling in loans left, right, and center. But they are the only ones who truly succeeded out of everybody. The Passes and the Fouchés are bonding together and have the Passes, the Fouchés, the Jadajas have come together and are unfortunately questions are being asked about certain things. The Apase's marriage, the Fouché and Jadaja's presence in the neighborhood. They're kind of busy fighting, miscegenation laws. And while segregation has definitely become déclassé because of actions that were taken earlier. They succeeded enough to get the Smiths succeeded enough to get comments being made about people. The Sycamores lost a donor to the botanical gardens. And the Eldridge Kit Eldridge is getting looked at real hard. He's unmarried, he's publicly other, and he's very very vocal in some things, and also his mother isn't really white. Now she's Algerian, but people are making some comments, snide comments have been made in the market behind hands, as one might or might not expect. And Robin McLeod is getting some looks, questioning, why he brought this foreign woman home with him. To which Jack Hall is kind of very confused because nobody's made a comment about his wife recently. So, Jack Hall and Robin McLeod have been seen more frequently together, while Nora and Alyssa have been bonding. And Ari Solano straight up walked across the street and walked away from somebody, from Mrs. Smythe, and Mrs. Smith, and Henrietta Smith had such a look on her face like she won. Oh, I didn't put Alyssa in. That's what I forgot to do. Thank you. Sorry. Did I put Robin in? Oh, I hadn't. I will fix that. Oh, and I didn't put Henrietta in that either. All right. So the floor is y'all's. What would you like to do? Or actually, I think
late night work.
I think this would be actually the best time to take the break because it's 9:45. And then when we come back, it's all on y'all, and we'll find out what y'all want to do and where we want to go from here. So take this opportunity, stretch, bio, refresh yourselves, all good things, and we will see you in a few minutes, everybody.
We can't provide you with a date, but we do supply a magic bait. Burma shave. The wolf is shaved, so neat and trim. Red Riding Hood is chasing him. Burma shave. Heaven's latest neophyte signaled left, then turned right. Burma shave. To steal a kiss, he had the knack, but lacked the spell to get one back. Burma shave. Why is it when you try to pass, the other in front goes twice as fast? Burma shave. A silver bullet We can't provide you with a date, but we do supply a magic bait. Burma Shave. The wolf is shaved, so neat and trim. Red Riding Hood is chasing him. Burma Shave. Heaven's latest neophyte signaled left, then turned right. Burma Shave. To steal a kiss, he had the knack, but lacked the spell to get one back. Burma Shave. Why is it when you try to pass, the other in front goes twice as fast? Burma Shave. A silver bullet through his hat, but he's had closer shaves than that. Burma Shave. A shave that's real, no cuts to heal, a soothing magic afterfeel. Burma Shave. Past young others, take it slow, let the little shavers grow. Burma Shave.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We hope you're refreshed, stretched, got yourself a beverage, and are ready to dive back into whatever these fine folk want to do now that things have been moving around.
How long ago was the vote?
Let's say a week. And the vote was
Okay.
perhaps a week after Kit Eldridge found that little nuclear bomb hanging out in Tybee.
Oh, so it was like an emergency vote. Okay, I see.
Well, no, it was the July meeting.
Just convenient.
So convenient. So, all on you then.
Where do the Smiths keep their car?
Right now,
Yeah, right.
well, they only have the one. It's a very nice Oldsmobile.
Delightful.
And Mr. Smith is the one using it. He is currently in Atlanta with the car because, he's campaigning for governor.
Oh, his wife's all alone?
Oh.
Yes, with their 3 children.
Three children, you say?
Yes.
Oh my god. How old?
Yeah, how old are they?
8, 10, and 11. In descending order of age,
Interesting.
you have Joshua, James, and Marie.
Now, there is, again, face claim for Apollo is Robert Mitchell. I want all of you, if you want to understand Apollo, my choices, look up a film called Night of the Hunter.
Good movie.
Also, the original Cape Fear. To understand where this may be going. So they have a family home, right? Have
Yes.
3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be terrible.
We don't need all of them.
Just terrible. If there was a severe fault in the house's foundation that caused a catastrophic collapse in the middle of the night. One might say that sort of failure would be an act of God.
But I'm quite sure that you wouldn't, because you wouldn't want to take on that level of hubris now, would you?
Not today.
Today. Maybe tomorrow. Next
not
Tuesday.
today. Cat. Part of the reason why the Gwillem family is so concerned about the apocalypse is we're so good at it. And so a minor apocalypse for this family is something that surprisingly doesn't take an awful lot. It just takes a midnight stroll.
Ooh, a midnight stroll, you say?
Well, yeah, if I want to have both celestial and other aid in this dark act, we're playing with Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil rules, ladies and gentlemen. There is the half an hour before midnight where we try and do good to offset what we are about to do. And then there is the half hour after midnight where we do the thing that we want to do. So yes, this is happening. So first we have to prepare for the good. And in the preparation for the good, there is going to be a donation from the Gwillem family bank to the Sycamores. Given that they just lost a donor, we're going to step in. We just want one small little thing in exchange for this donation. Pittance, really. Just need one of the members of the family to go to a stream in their preserve, one that has not been futzed with by man, and just get me a mason jar full of that pure, clean water.
Do you want blessed or not blessed?
Not blessed, please.
Michael Sycamore will definitely bring you a jar of that. And for this purpose, you can say that you've invested 5 wealth in the bank. Take 5 of your wealth scores and invested with supporting the Sycamore's preserve.
Yeah. We'll do that. Then I just that's part of the good. Let's see here. I need another thing for the good. Well, guess we're going to have to do the. It's not quite ethical, but boy, is it going to be a random good in the world. So there is going to be a Gwillem family blood drive.
Interesting.
I love a good blood drive.
So the Gwillem family is going to donate their blood.
To whom?
The American Red Cross.
Interesting. The local Red Cross or national?
National. We need to have the most diverse good.
Their actual blood?
Yeah.
They're non-human blood?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
Okay.
mystical divine blood.
The mystical divine blood. I was just wondering. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The Ardalines don't qualify for blood drives. To give. They're anemic.
Yeah. Anemic. I figured.
They love a good blood drive, though.
So, putting some miracles into the world.
Oh, you're doing so much with that. I made a note.
So doing that in order, but we need the donation receipts in order for this ritual to be performed. We need 2 other sources of good because I'm going to need 4 sources of evil in order to pull this off. So.
Do you recruit any associates to aid you in your good or evil?
We are always looking for help on the good side. The evil side, we do not necessarily want anyone to tempt the wrath of insert deity here. So we will take on the evil. That's what the house does. But the good, we were always looking for donations.
I loved that moment, PB. It's that, oh, we're looking for donations. It was on brand.
Look, I have a real good friend who works at the VA. Named Mercer. Some of you might know him. Sometimes I visit and we go and hang out and we talk. And I think he's doing great work. The family does great work over there. We make sure to donate and support the cause, whatever the cause may be.
This may be a little bit prying and a bit too much, but there are a lot of childless couples out there. If Ro wouldn't mind donating to that cause, I have a feeling that all of a sudden that infertility in those candidates just might go away.
I will take that into advisement with our next donation.
Golems really don't care about consequences. That's for future problems. And So, for the miracle of making certain that a childless family gets their prayers answered. Okay, that's a ding. And then I think we need to pull off one last miracle.
Oh, what's your last miracle?
Well, the Arbalines have already taken care of part of it, but we need to have a second part. This is going to be harder to swing. But we have Mikey. And so we need to get as much as Mercer is going to hate this, we are going to need to get Mr. Musgrove released and then his record expunged.
Really?
Yeah.
That's going to be a roll.
Okay. What would you like?
Well, Arlene's would definitely assist in getting Mr. Musgrove out of prison and records expunged, if that can help.
You can use complementary skills. So
like I would love to, because I have all this stuff on my sheet. May I roll a persuasion intimidate with maybe the federal DA?
Well, you're going to need to get into the Solicitor General or the Attorney General's office to get this. The federal DA is a step below who you need at the moment. They can't fully help you, but to get that meeting, could maybe the Ardalines could roll you a status, reputation, or breeding. Either one would work.
We could roll.
That would be lovely.
We could roll a status reputation. It'd have a little more sway if Miss Marta was to do it, because her reputation is bonkers.
Yes, but I think she's still dead. Yeah.
So, you get Opal, who does have some status reputation. I'll use my bonus die on this. $13.
13 is definitely good enough to give a bonus die to the Gwillums.
Okay. In that case, this is going to be a funny roll. So we're going to roll persuasion, intimidation.
Because now you've got, because after that wonderful, here's what it is. The Ardalines threw such a wonderful party that all the important people were being invited, included the Attorney General of the state of Georgia. Well,
I also work at the lawyer's office as a secretary, so I imagine I deal and meet with all types of people all the time.
Oh.
Exactly, and your reputation is now good enough that you could arrange a nice, quiet meeting between Apollo Gwillem and whoever he wanted to talk to about getting Peter Musgrove out of federal prison for his
yeah, that's a 21.
That would be definitely good enough to get him out of prison, and the record.
His time cut short.
Yeah, he's not going to get his. You're not going to get his record expunged per se, because unfortunately, if it was just a court case, that'd be one thing. But it was a HUAC case, and HUAC is evil. On so many fucking levels, not even crazy. And because all the hearings are public, you'd have too many transcripts to expunge. So he is still, but you get him out on time served without any parole.
We'll see if that's
good enough. And the Ardalines pay the fine.
Oh, look, he doesn't have to be held in prison for failure to pay. It's fine.
So, there. 4 good things. Now for evil.
Now, my next question is, do you invite anybody to participate in your evil?
The family likes to shoulder the guilt, also because we don't know how all the other deities work.
Yes.
We have heard about the Chinese and 1,000 hells. We have one, and that's enough.
Well, you got 7 layers? 9 layers. 9 layers to it.
It just there seems to be a lot of hells, and we don't want our neighbors going there unless it's voluntary. So we're also we're really good at the evil. We've had experience.
Same.
Sodom and Gomorrah, some of us did that. Like we're good at apocalypses and suffering. Though writing down pure sulfur is exhausting. Now, that being said, because we're trying to bring about this greater evil, we need to do a number of minor evils. So, how do we make this? Have the Lafayette's found the names of those families that were supportive in this action?
Yeah.
They're so good at finding names.
They are.
some
They are
reason.
very good at finding names, and they did indeed find.
Ardelines would also love that name
Bunch
list
of
because,
names.
and like how many members in each family there are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that number's going to change real soon.
Oh yeah, no, I
So
Uh-huh.
the 3 family, the other 5 families, one of which you've already knocked out, and is they had to leave.
Bonanno, the different
No.
families?
If they were involved, none of this would have happened this way. It would
Oh,
have
I'm
been
so sorry. I was the wrong 5 families. Sorry,
wrong
sorry.
wrong 5 families, and we don't fuck with them.
Not Lucchese, Bonanno. Sorry. Wrong ones. Wrong ones.
Yeah, no, I do not fuck with anybody who murders somebody in a revolving door in the middle of the finest restaurant in the city. Or excuse me, in public in the finest restaurant in the city, and also in public in the revolving door of a store 3 blocks down. The Chamberlains, the Ewings, the Steeles, the Taylors, and the Boyds.
Okay.
So I will put them in
Chamberlain, Ewing, Steele, Boyd, and
Ewing, Steele, Taylor.
Taylor's.
Taylor.
thank you,
Boyd.
And
along with
Boyd.
the Smiths.
Yes, along with these were the other families that were involved. The Boyds have been removed, shall we say, from the playing field. Your actions just knocked them straight out. If you look around, you would find out that the Boyds were a mid-tier couple, and it perhaps one might say that Mr. Boyd worked for James Smith, and conversation is such that of a financial status they were much lower, and therefore perhaps one might say that they were strongly encouraged if they wanted to keep their job. However, the Chamberlains, the Ewings, the Steeles, and the Taylors are all there. Taylors, family of 4. John, Martha, 2 kids, under 10. Steeles, married, no children, and we have, I'm pulling all their names, I'm sorry, it is taking me a second. Oh, yeah. Morgan and Emily. Morgan and Emma. Well, Emma Smith Steele. Her name is Emma Smith. It's a hyphenated name. Well, it's not hyphenated, but she's one of those people who has her great grandmother's her grandmother's maiden name as her middle name. Everybody calls her Emma Smith. Ewings, family of 6. They have 4 children.
Any of them high school?
Huh?
Any of them high school age?
Middle school.
Hmm.
Yes, I know. We have, oops,
Next decade.
Mason
Next time jump.
and Susan. 4 sons.
Damn.
You have, yes, they're twins. Twins, age 10. Twins, age 12. Yes, she had 2 sets of twins and then said nope.
Well, 2 sets of twins
You know-
is
Enough.
not what she needs. Another set of twins. And complications. Oh, that's easy.
Then we have Robert and Muriel. And they have 2 children, 2 daughters, age 14 and 16. And we have Mary Grace. Of course. You knew there had to be at least one. And Emma Jean. There you go.
Okay. Well,
Boys, removed from the field.
that means
So your young married couple who moved north to support this drama, by the way, House Ardeline, are your Steels.
The Steels. Yeah, cool. Good to know.
so cool. We're going to go about this mostly mundanely because I need to save the magic for the Smiths because I want to really in this case. Yeah, that sounds like and we have enough wealth. I want to buy the bank that these families have their house loans
Mm-hmm.
through.
That was the move I was gonna do if you weren't gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they're losing all of that because the Lafayette's already own it.
Oh,
Oh, that's fine. If the
Oh.
I would
Lafayette's on
like
it.
to buy their mortgages, please.
Oh, I'm going to need a roll of persuasion, charm, or persuasion bargain, and you will get a bonus dice because
I will do persuasion bargain. These are fake.
I will
Yes.
I will say you get a bonus dice. Because they like you. And they don't
15.
like them. Ooh, 15. You can get 2 out of the 4 remaining. Or
Okay.
2 out of the 4 that are not the Smiths.
Okay.
Um,
Well, we are going to.
mostly because they don't have a mortgage.
I wouldn't worry about the Steels.
We are going to use the levers of control that the wealthy have access to, and we are going to have the police forcibly evict those 2 families.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. Which 2?
Hmm. Well, I think that young couple, if all of a sudden they found themselves without a home,
Oh no,
would be
well
very
the
easy
Ardelines.
prey.
Oh, the art. Oh, so
Well,
they're
something could happen to them after they're homeless. This is true. Yes.
okay. So evicted.
Yeah, we're
Life's tough on the streets.
there are some interesting predators out there, and if
In
you
the
don't have a
swamps,
home,
yeah.
things can happen.
Do you mean like alligators?
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Oh well, gators, you have to
Panthers.
invade their territory.
Yeah.
Unless they're addicted to meth. Lindy told me about meth gators. I feel like they're very
Gators,
dangerous.
yeah.
But meth gators aren't a problem yet.
No,
Not
no,
yet.
no,
Oh, okay.
no.
Not that you know of.
Meth gators are meth gators are
We could make them a
distinctly
problem.
southern, and I mean Florida. However, with Georgia, there's enough, water lying around that you can get all sorts of nasty things that water moccasins, they have a temper. And they can just get anywhere, Same thing with black widows.
Mhm.
They can just get you. Brown recluse, get you. Especially this.
Oh, when you said Black Widow, I thought you meant one of the Ardeline family members. I feel like
No.
that happens with them often.
No one in the only our aunt's been widowed, and that's that was a long time ago, and she's dead right now.
Right now. And so, okay, so that was two.
So which family is that, by the way?
The Steels.
Steels, and then I need to get another family. Let's do the Taylors.
So who dies?
Well, no, I'm not killing anyone. I'm just getting those two evicted.
Oh, evicted.
If death happens to them,
Oh, okay.
like that could be somebody else's job. I'm just setting things up. Just pulling an Ebenezer Scrooge. I love the classics. And speaking of classics, we just got so much experience with this Axe Committee of Un-American Affairs. I think a series of anonymous tips for the other two families involved. And maybe a few documents just happen to end up in the DA's office,
I'm here for it.
Right. And we're so far before like forensics is really good that doctoring something's real easy. I mean, hell, James works in the theater now. Has access to all sorts of goodies. So yeah, no, there's our four dark miracles. And now let's do something actually supernatural here. So I have the receipts essentially from both acts. So in order to perform this, around midnight, we go for a walk around the ring. And at the four cardinal points around the Smithsonian, not necessarily right nearby, but perfectly marking north, south, east, west. This is during the half hour of evil, is the receipts for our dark acts. On the opposite points, the points in between, are the receipts for good acts. This focuses both positive and negative energy on the target.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to use Sword Chronicles magic system.
Yep.
This is a 3-part process. So first is a knowledge test. This normally has a DC of 9. So we will see what I am able to do. And it does allow me to use research as bonus dice. So
I'm here.
that's a 17.
Oh, you're succeeding.
And then in this walkabout, which takes some time, and this setting things up is what is referred to as the invocation. This is a will test, which uses these talismans. That's a 20. DC is normally a 12. And then there is what is referred to as the unleashing. Now, I will say that if they have any sort of ward, that increases the difficulty by 3.
Any sort of what?
Ward against curses.
Oh. Yes.
Okay.
Sort of. Mechanically speaking, yes.
All right.
But not in the way you would think. Well, maybe in the way your family would think, because,
Well,
they're not
Nope.
into others, but they're real religious.
the DC is normally 12, so if they have a ward, it's a 15. I rolled an 18.
You're still good.
In which case, 50 pounds of their foundation just disappeared right in
Look.
the center of the house.
Interesting. Interesting. So, who took walkabout, by the way?
Oh, that was Apollo. Aye.
Paulo took a walkabout.
Yeah.
Can I get a roll from the Walters and the Ardelenes? I need an awareness notice roll.
Certainly.
See if you notice Apollo Gwillem going walkabout in the middle of the night.
Awareness notice.
Mm-hmm.
50.
And a 13 for me.
So, I'm gonna say yes. You did notice that Apollo Gwillem went walkabout in the middle of the night. Now the question is, did y'all do anything about noticing that Apollo Gwillem went walking about in the middle of the night? After midnight.
I waved.
Oh, you waved. That's good.
See them walking by on the line.
Yeah. No, he's got a I want to say it's a bowling bag because Apollo goes bowling.
Uh-huh.
I think he's part of a local league. And yeah, that's a great way to just relax, kick back, have some brews, be sociable.
My favorite midnight activity, actually. Going
yeah,
bowling.
Yeah, bowling bag, cigar, hat, just walking about, enjoying the breeze.
Well, the Ardelenes might be out doing some nighttime gardening, as we are wont to do, especially in the summer heat. And so I think we'd look a little curiously at Apollo and just be like, "Have a nice night, Mr. Gwillem."
Oh, you take care of yourself, Miss Hunter.
We'll be taking care of something tonight, Mr. Gwillem. Don't you worry.
And yeah,
Got shovels. There's like some shovels
so
ready,
You
lined up.
hear them clatter.
the dark miracle will take roughly 3 hours before it happens. So once we're done with the walking, 3 hours and then it'll set in. So the collapse will happen roughly around 3:30 in the morning.
3:30 in the morning. Not a soul in sight.
No,
City's looking like a ghost town.
moonless summer night.
Thank you for doing that for me. So then, where does Opal Adeline? How's your evening of? Gardening going? You're muted.
Well, you see, I plan on visiting. Question is, Mr. Musgrove out of prison yet, or is that set to be happening still?
I imagine he'd be out in I imagine it'd be a week or so. So I imagine this is the midnight when he's not yet
Home.
out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm supposed to be visiting Mr. Musgrove in prison tomorrow, so I can't be out gardening too late. But there are some people recently evicted, and yeah, my family wants to eat them.
Oh, this is going to be stalking. Tell me how you plan to eat them.
Okay. Well, you see, I think it's a family affair. Because the trick is just to not be seen, honestly. So I think, Opal, the youngins who don't necessarily need to eat blood. James definitely doesn't come. He doesn't need to see that. Um, he might be family now, but he's not family now. But so like grandma, great uncle, great aunt, daddy, they all get ready, and yeah, it's just a bit of stalking going on, very stealthy, waiting for the prime moment for them to settle in for the night.
Well, they are staying at the motel since they got evicted.
The motel. Mm-hmm. Right. So I think their motel might be a little haunted or something. There's gonna be some weird noises. They might if they stay, kudos to them, but they might leave. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's one of those that has the motel, and the motel is, of course, it's a 1950s
Single
story
yeah.
southern motel, so it's actually like a little U-shape
of
small buildings around
Yep.
like the central
Courtyard area.
courtyard with the in-ground pool, and the main office is in the front building, and so yeah, their particular building might just have some creaky floors or something.
Something. Basically, they're gonna be tormented through sounds, smells, noises. They might leave their motel room and try to find someplace else to stay, and well, things just might happen. And if not tonight, then well, this process will repeat until they seem a little crazy, like, oh wow, they lost everything and started losing their minds, and that's when they'll disappear. So we need to have a file record of complaints, basically. They can't just show up as shriveled raisins in their motel room the next morning. That's too obvious. I mean, you could get away with it like 400 years ago, but nowadays it's a little harder. And also, it's been a while since they've had just a real good hunt, so a little bit of cat and mouse going on.
I just want a single roll for this whole kind of thing.
Yes.
I feel like,
and I think the full vampires of the family are participating. I don't think Opal and Oliver are allowed to.
Probably not.
To be in this. Yeah.
I feel like this is either a survival hunt or a stealth sneak.
Yes.
Perhaps.
Would you like that from Miss Marta's sheet?
Whichever sheet you want to use, one of your vampire relations.
Sure. Yeah, because it's not quite fighting yet. We're not eating them yet, so. Yeah, we'll go with sneak, because again, the biggest trick is we know where they're living. The hardest part is not being seen. So, let's see, let's just have Miss Marta make a little roll here. 15.
Oh yeah, nobody's seeing nothing.
So yeah, basically they're just gonna be tormented for a few nights because they're gonna make complaints. They might even switch rooms, but it doesn't seem to be an issue with the specific room, and no one else seems to have these issues, so yeah. They'll get fed up enough at some point.
Yeah, they're gonna take their brand new Chevrolet and just drive out because they're so angry about that they can't get themselves to sleep.
Yeah, and when they drive out, well, let's just say they're not gonna be seen again.
What do y'all do with the car?
Well, there's a swamp right by.
Fair, it is fair.
2 people. They got it's probably on like maybe a rainy night too. That'd be the best. They drove into the swamp. It happens.
Nasty storm.
Nasty storm. Because, they might be shriveled up from blood loss, but once they've been bloated from the swamp water a little bit, it'll be able to tell.
Indeed, indeed. And you know, it's just some flash flooding. It's the summer.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Thunderstorm came out of nowhere. Nobody
happens.
knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the car was found in the swamp probably days later, because, you know, it was on the highway, you know. And everyone in the Ardeline household was in a great mood for, like, a week, you know, just weirdly enough. But Opal will go the next morning, while her family's tormenting those poor steels, to pay Mr. Musgrove a visit in jail. That is what she will do later.
So probably we can pick up. I think we pick up there because by this point, Peter Musgrove has been transferred to the local county jail. You know, got to get transferred from the federal
Good,
prison to the county jail to be processed to be released. And I think that's where you would find him.
Wonderful. You know, make that appointment. Visit Mr. Musgrove. He's been gone for probably a month or two now. Not very long. Couple months.
Well, let's see. It's July, at the end of July, beginning of August by this point. When did your daughters report you to HUAC? While they were at school,
Well,
correct?
Well, yeah, yes, that's right. Well, I mean, it could have been during the summer. They're doing politics.
Yeah, but I figure you have to account for the time of bureaucracy, which as much as HUAC liked to brag, did not roll actually any faster than one would expect. So figure if you were, you know, didn't have the hearing until like March,
Something like that.
so maybe
and then
about
I-
4 months then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons why we could not do a lot of defense is I was in prison at the
Yes.
you know. So busy. Prison, as you do. Well, I will come in for a visit. I imagine it'll be a nice table with chairs on either side and visitation sort of thing.
Yes, and you are not left alone. A, because you are a woman and not married to the gentleman here, therefore you do not get conjugal rights. And number two, it is not his lawyer, therefore everything that is said will be monitored by prison authorities.
That's
Well,
fine.
I
It's
imagine
a local
also-
prison. I'm not that worried about it.
It's a county jail, yeah. It ain't that big a deal.
It might be, I don't know if it's one of them visitation rooms that's got multiple tables, you know. It's a big room, or if it's a single room.
Well, no, this is the county jail outside Savannah. It isn't that big. You got a small room. You were the only people in there at the moment. The only other person who is currently in the jail is the gentleman who is your local town drunk, and it was his, you know, it's after 9 o'clock. He's been evicted from the facility for the day.
Oh, yes. Come in.
Dr. Musgrove.
Zottily.
Yes.
It is a pleasure to see you. Please, have a seat, and he will sit.
Thank you.
He cannot bring the chair out for her because
No,
he cannot leave that side of his side of the, you know. So he does not. Well, it is a pleasure to see you. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit, Mrs. Otterly?
Well, Miss Dr. Musgrove, it has been far too long. It's been 4 long months, and I was just wanting to express my joy at you being released early.
Yes, a bit of a surprise. And I was told that my fine for contempt of Congress was paid. You wouldn't know nothing about that, would you?
Well, I gotta put those wages you pay me to get some good use, don't I?
Well, I would imagine you would have put them towards, I don't know, a savings or a
Dr. Musgrove, I have plenty in my savings. You don't need to worry about me financially.
Well, I suppose. Now, how's everything been going in since I have been gone?
Well, I suppose the most recent scandal has been that the HOA was almost divided in two. The neighborhood.
Oh, I see. That would have then what had then 2 HOAs?
2 HOAs? The Smiths decided to take a notion, wanting to, I suppose, segregate the area that they thought had the most others in it away from those who they thought had less.
Oh, now that's that George Smith?
I believe so. No?
What is his name?
I don't know. James Smith.
James. That is James Smith
Yes.
running for governor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think one of my daughters is working on his campaign to try to get him elected.
I'm sorry to hear that.
As am I. But you well, you do not know yet, but you have children and you do your best to raise them with good values, but do not own your children. They do what they will.
That's what I hear. That's what I've been told.
Yes. Now, Mrs. Otterline, are you going to be continuing to working?
Oh, I did plan on it, if that's all right with you, Dr. Musgrove.
Oh, that is completely fine with me. I know that some women, when they get married, they stop working, but I always think it's quite important to keep money of your own and keep being a good and positive
Oh.
force.
You don't need to worry about that, Miss Dr. Musgrove. It's James that needs to make his own money in the Otterline household. We've been married for
Well,
5 years now?
that's right. Well, doesn't he work as a carpenter?
6 years now. Yes, he does.
Uh,
At the local
being a
theater.
carpenter.
Mhm.
Yes, well, being a carpenter is good work to work with your hands. I think that's quite admirable.
So sorry. That's me laughing.
Oh.
He sure is good with his hands, but that's not something she
Oh,
would
I
say
see.
in character. No.
I see.
It's just pure Lindy coming out.
Oh, is it? Is it? I've heard he's excellent with his hands, is what I've heard.
That is, the rumors would be correct, Miss Dr. Musgrove.
Yes, apparently he's able to, he's able to deal with hardwood,
Mhm.
make beautiful things out there in the theater.
Beautiful work.
That's something admirable.
It's like he's got the
Have
hands
you-
of an angel.
Oh, no, I think that's important, and not everybody is able to do that sort of a thing.
Mhm.
Now, I had a question about him, as a matter of fact.
Oh, did you
Oh,
really?
James.
Mhm.
Yes, I had heard a rumor about him.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. I had heard a rumor about his extracurricular activities back in Wales.
The best
I-
Opal looks a little more intrigued. What extracurricular activities back in Wales?
Oh, I had heard that he was a deep sea diver. Is that so?
Deep sea diver. Well, I don't think he's ever mentioned it.
Oh, I'd heard that he was a good deep sea diver who could hold his breath for quite some time. That is what I had heard.
Well, I'll have to ask him about that when I get back home.
Well, I mean, Wales is on the coast and all that.
It is. It is.
Swimming and
It's
all
not why
that.
they have the name Wales, but yes.
By the way, have my daughters been back?
I haven't seen him.
I suppose not. They're-
Mrs. Musgrove does seem to miss you terribly, though.
Yes, they told me they were not coming home for the summer. They had political campaign work and such to do.
Hmm.
Tell me, how's the Quan family? Are they doing well?
Well, as far as I can tell, they're doing best they can.
Hmm. That's good. Is there anything I can do for you, Mrs. Otterly?
Oh, I think I'm quite set myself. Family's been doing fairly well. I suppose my mother will need another doctor's appointment when
yes.
you get back into your office.
What about your
she's-
sister?
My brother, a twin brother.
No. The young lady I saw in your house.
Was that when the night of the drive-in?
Yes, there's a
Oh,
about
that
your
was
age.
that was a cousin visiting.
Ah, I see, I see. Not staying over then, I suppose.
No.
Uh, well, because I didn't want to be unneighborly and all that. If I didn't cousin makes a lot of sense to me. Oh,
Yes,
well,
I only have the twin brother.
mm. Now,
He's doing well, working at the bank. Still bank manager now.
oh, that's very fine. Now, you two, do you need any sort of a family doctor just yet?
Oh, I just really don't get sick all that often, Dr. Musgrove.
Ah, I see, I see. Well, if you ever need a family doctor, uh, I'm always, I would be honored to do so if you would not be ashamed to have a federal convict as your doctor.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think federal convict's a bit of a harsh term for what they imprisoned you for. But I would
Well,
like to make a roll against Mr. Musgrove.
I,
He was like, "Would you like a family doctor?" And I want to see if he's asking, cause he might think she's an other. She's been doing her best to pose as just a normal human girl,
oh,
and she wants to know if he's figured anything out, cause some people in the neighborhood have apparently.
Same standard rules. You can use slightly tweaked. You can't use bonus dice that have been given to you by chat, but if you have a specialization that would give you bonus dice, that's not the same thing. So this would be an awareness empathy.
Awareness, empathy. Oh, I really do need to remember that I have keen senses. Whenever I roll awareness, I get bonus die equal to my notice, which is a lot. So awareness, empathy. 11. Not my best roll.
yes, but Peter Musgrove, it's against his religion to be deceitful. What he and he does not try to do so. He's trying to be subtle, but not deceitful. He's not figuring that you're an other. He's trying to be. How do I say this? I gotta put it this way. There are certain things you do not say out loud because it's not polite. And by asking if you might need a family doctor, that's not about being an other. That's about, I mean, you've been married for 6 years.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was the other thing.
Yeah, and you might need a family doctor at any time. So you do not currently need a family doctor. That is good information to share, but perhaps in the future you might need a family doctor. And if you did a family doctor because you were having a family, then he would, of course, be honored to be your family. This has nothing to do with otherness because he has not figured that out. But
that's the Oddling's main concern is others figuring out their otherness. So the kid scandal rumor thing that's also going around because I'm sure it's even stronger now because it's been even more years.
There's also a slight
Catch up to the
undercurrent of
Walters.
yes. Now this is very delicate in that subtlety. If you need some sort of what's the word? Fertility advice.
Yeah. No,
If you need a family doctor because you want to have a family, it's that. But just in a subtle way.
Yes. No. Once she gets that it's that and not the other thing, then she's a little other the others thing. She's a little more relieved, and she'll be like, you will be the first. Well, one of the first to know.
I would hope that not the first, perhaps the third or the fourth or the fifth. But if you need anything at all, because I have lots of knowledge about vitamins and.
I heard
by
those
the
are
way,
important. Yes.
vitamin D, I would recommend. You should be eating more liver. By the way,
sunshine.
Might need more iron in your diet. You're a bit pale.
Oh. My family has a history of being a little anemic. My mother. I do my best to get. I get plenty of iron in my diet.
Oh well, you should. I'd say spinach, some collard greens, Just
Mm-hmm.
make sure you've got a good diet there, and
Leafy green
I'd say
vegetables. Yep, yep. Red meat.
abs. Yes, absolutely.
Red
Uh,
meat.
especially liver.
I will make a note of that.
Well, I have to say
Anything
I'll
you want me
be.
to pass on to your wife?
Oh, that would be
Message?
lovely. Could you tell her, let her know that I've been eating as well as I can,
Mm-hmm.
and that I have mediated 3 different conflicts here in the prison, and there were just some misunderstandings between inmates about this and that, and getting a little bit ugly. But I was able to do my very best to mediate that sort of a thing. That as well I could, and just let her let her know that I love her, and
Mm-hmm.
that I will be home as soon as possible.
I hear it's gonna be quite real soon. Maybe about another week or so.
I hope so. I hope that Jay Hune's been uh, just watching out for the house. It's right next to his.
Mm-hmm. Well, you let us
Yeah.
Adeline know if you need anything, Dr. Musgrove.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, I hope everything. I hope everything's all right. All that kerfuffle with the Solano child and all that. A couple of years ago, I know
I think it seems to be
strangeness.
growing up just fine, so I imagine they're quite well.
I think so. Uh, well, by the way, is that thing with the HOA going to happen?
Oh no, the neighborhood's not splitting.
Ah, well.
They were outvoted.
Oh, well, that's lovely. By the way,
Seems
what
like
does
the
this
neighborhood
mean for?
came together.
Does this mean for the next neighborhood fair? Do you think?
I have no idea. I did hear though that after the vote didn't go through, well, two of the people who voted for segregating the neighborhood, I suppose is the nicest way to put it, well, they couldn't quite pay their mortgage and got evicted.
Oh my, that's terrible. Well, I hope
Mm.
they are, but you know, segregation is might be the current lay of the land, but it's not the way it is in Carousel Court. Imagine we're going to
Exactly.
be moving towards the future, not towards the past. Tell
Always
me,
moving towards the future, Dr. Musgrove. Future don't stop for us. We just have to
no,
keep up.
how is Roe Walters, by the way? I barely
Oh, Mr.
they hear from him
Walters?
anymore. Hmm.
Oh, as far as I know, Mr. Walters is doing just fine, but I have been meaning to ask him and his wife out to dinner with me and James one of these days.
Oh, that'll be nice. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
ever since the drive-in, he and I have not really. It's not been around as much.
Mm-hmm.
So busy.
It was a big day for a lot of people that evening.
Yes, I do. I shouldn't keep you here in a place like this. It's not for a lady like you. Oh,
Totally fine, Dr. Musgrove. I still have the key to the office if you want me to clean it all up
good.
for you and for your arrival.
Oh yes. We'll have to go and rebuild. Patients. Imagine they must have all gone off somewhere else.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I'm sure there's plenty of regulars who want to come back to you.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope. Because the
My mother'll
positive
be your
thing about
first
being
customer when we come back.
oh,
She's
Adeline,
64 now.
it's Adeline. That's kind. It's a kindness. It's a kindness. After a blacklisting, you never know whether or not what sort of business you'll have when you get back. So
Well,
that's
the Adelines have been, well, we've been doing well socially since that vote went down, so I'm sure if we're your first customers back, that'll encourage other people to return as well.
that is a mighty kind gesture, Mrs. Adeline.
We do what we can.
Well, Musgroves, so few there are left. I'll forget this gesture. Sadly, I don't. Sadly, the Musgroves, this is the last generation, as it seems. My daughters have changed their last name
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, they've gone back to my grandfather's last name.
Well, at the very least, they're keeping it in the family. They could have gone with something else altogether.
Might have been better if they had, actually. Might
Oh,
have been better if they had. Yes, my grandfather probably would have had quite a lot in common with the Smiths.
oh dear. Well, I am sorry to hear that then. Please let me know if there's
Yes.
anything we can do to help you
Well,
out.
well, thank you. Your mother, as my first customer, would be quite a lot. And if there's anything my wife and I can do, please let me know.
Will do.
Good. good you know, and I'm, I studied quite a lot of medicine. If there's anything I can do to help. Also, spinach, grits,
Yes,
beans.
collard greens. Yep, lots of iron. Don't worry. It's a big part of my diet.
Good, good. I also say, get some exercise.
Hmm.
Gardening is a
I'll
very
get
good
right
thing to
on
do.
that. I do plenty of gardening. I anticipate we're doing the whole back beds this week.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
I think we're gonna pull back from that.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna come back in on Ro Walters.
Hello. It
Where do we
is now.
find Ro Walters?
Let's see. Well, you find Ro Walters and his wife. They're they've taken the day off. They've closed the store today. Um and they have headed up to a a local college. Anyone who might have seen them leave, they left early in the morning. It's a long drive ahead. You see them. You'll
Yeah,
see Ro
going to UGA
Walters.
is not easy from. Well, it is easy, but from Savannah, but it's still going to UGA, and it's not like there are anything other than a 2-lane, and get there.
Anyone who would have seen him leave that morning would have seen that he was fully clean shaven and wearing some nice clothing.
And
And the
imagine
same with his
cologne.
wife. Yeah, and Cologne and his wife is also wearing a real nice dress, real nice summer dress, very with the times, very in fashion. And they have driven up to the local college and left their car in um, some reliable parking, and they have, they started off together. They maybe spent a little bit of time in the park if they got there early enough, shared a couple of glasses of some muscadine wine before they went their separate ways. And as soon as people are out and about and, having a good time, it's Friday, right? We've entered Friday.
We can say it's Friday.
Well, yesterday was
people-
Thursday.
Yeah.
Today it's Friday. We so excited. We're gonna have a ball tonight. It's Friday.
Yeah,
Friday.
Gotta get down on
Friday.
Friday.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
Gotta get down.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Car
Sit
on
in
the
the back
swamp on
seat.
the way. Weird.
Yeah.
And so both Linda and Ro do a very similar thing, very well practiced. They're walking leisurely down the sidewalk, smiling, nodding their head at anybody who looks their way. And they're looking for specifically people who don't look like they're from Georgia, or they look like they're here on maybe a vacation visiting, anything like that. Maybe they're here for a summer class in the college or anything of the sort. And just looking at them and smiling extra nice at them and seeing with their extra perception if they are a good candidate.
So your options for this are going to be either awareness notice or persuasion seduce. Your choice.
All right, we'll roll that persuasion seduce with that extra die.
You're using your bonus die that chat so kindly gave you.
I sure am. I roll a 19.
Ooh, you can definitely. What exactly is Earl Walters looking for? In
I'm
persuasion.
looking for someone, like I said, someone not necessarily from the area, someone who obviously is attracted to them, and someone who is really looking at them like they'd be willing to share a drink, share a night, you know.
Yes, yes, I should be more specific. What is Earl Walters' taste?
Uh, someone who is um
Or do they
mm,
care? Do they care
they,
about gender presentation and or anything like that?
no. And to be completely honest with you, they're not in a position to be too picky right now. It's been a real rough couple of weeks. So they're just looking for somebody, anybody really. And if they end up being, to Rose taste, then, that's just icing on
Oh,
top.
with a 19, you can find exactly what you want.
Well, then someone young, lively, with a lot of energy. A lot of energy to share.
Who won't be missed, I assume.
Mm, not necessarily.
Yeah, there's a nice there's a car full of four mid-20s taking themselves on a summer drive down all the way to driving all the way down Route 1 all the way down to Florida, making stops along the way. Um two, two girls and two guys. You can have your pick, as they say.
Do I have to pick?
You don't really.
You know? I'm real hungry lately. And if they're, and if they're willing,
Oh, there's a
so
lot
am
of
I.
willing going on.
Then we find a nice little local motel. I've got a room already. Come on and visit. I was just looking around, just visiting.
Well, I'm sure that'll be perfectly fine. So my question is, Ro Walters and Linda Walters taking their time and enjoying themselves. How much do you enjoy yourselves? Are all four of these fine young folk going to have themselves a very good night and then go on their way, or then we losing one or two?
Because there are four of them, that means that we all got lucky that night. Everyone gets to have a real nice time, and maybe a little bit more tired than usual, but they all get to leave and continue their vacation down to Florida.
Well, then I will say that you are feeling real good in the morning. That tiredness, that lethargy has left you. I do, however, need your wife to make a roll.
Mm-hmm. What are we
Um,
rolling?
well, I feel this is an appropriate time to roll just 2d, just roll a d6.
Oh, 6.
You're feeling real good and you're well fed for probably the first time in a while. But
Mm-hmm.
real well fed for the first time in a while. So's your wife. Um, she's pregnant.
like this very second, or are we just noticing now?
Oh, well. Your choice.
I'd say we're noticing just now.
Yeah, so it's probably maybe a month along.
Mm-hmm. Um you know, as soon as they leave, you know, they've already gone, they're already driving off. Me and my wife are just enjoying a nice motel.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine like like moving my hand over her stomach, for whatever reason, and I just like I noticed something and I double back, and
Well,
obviously not anything major, but like it just suddenly something is, I know my wife very well. Um I notice something is different. And like I start looking at her, and like I've always thought my wife is beautiful. My wife is the most beautiful person on this planet. But for some reason, she was looking extra divine today. And I look at her and I put like my hand back on her stomach and I look at her and I'm like, Are you are you feeling okay?
oh, I mean, I'm feeling a lot better. My headache's gone and just nausea's been bothering me for a few days. That's all gone, mostly.
And I'm like, that nausea, that's not normal. We've gone time without eating back when we were really struggling. And I like you know, I I pull her up from the bed and I stand up and look down at her and I put my hands on her waist and I'm like, I think I think you might be pregnant.
There's a beat of like, maybe? What are you talking about? And then a smile, that subtle smile of like, maybe this could be a really good thing. It's like, well, I guess I get to go see Dr. Musgrove when he gets home.
You know, hopefully so. Hopefully he'll be happy about this as much as we are. And I'll both of us energized AF now.
Yes.
I'll like pick her up and I'll like twirl her and we'll just celebrate. I'll call up room service, you know. We'll have a real nice time out in this motel.
Have yourselves a
See you
very good
next day.
time.
Always, we always have a very good time. That baby's not in there for no reason.
There's
I'll
that.
call down. um well, no, no one else runs the business rather than us, so it's just gonna stay closed. And we'll probably stay an extra day uh up near in the motel and just celebrate.
Sounds like a great time was had by everybody.
A lot of nice restaurants out here.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Probably so, actually. Probably so. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. But I guess the next question is, um, does anyone else have any? I guess, is there any other moments from, let's say August of 1958 that we want tonight?
Nothing that jumps out aside from the ramifications of what has happened.
I will have donated to the local orphanage. Or at least the Walters family has donated to the local orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
and we would like to have gone and visited Peter Musgrove with my wife. And his wife. I would like to go over to their home and you know, greet him and welcome him back after his stay. And also his wife, who we'd been in contact with while Mr. Musgrove was out, because we have no beef with Mrs. Musgrove. And congratulate him, and I would like to. My wife and I would like to both tell you that we are expecting a little one in a few months.
Well, congratulations. That's wonderful. Have you had all of your blood work done to make sure everything is have all the vitamins you need? That you know have to make sure you have vitamins. Have you maybe like one glass of wine a night? You want to make sure you have your greens. Well, I hope you've. Well, I could
Well, in
make a
fact,
list.
Peter, we were hoping that you might like to be our doctor for this journey.
Well, I would love to. That would be my honor. Uh, please, I can make an appointment. Well, Mrs. Audley takes care of my scheduling. But I could make an appointment for your wife for Linda to come down as soon as possible. I just have to drink a bit more water, hydrate, get a bit of sleep. But I would be happy to go and do a checkup tomorrow if that would be convenient.
Of course, of course. There is something we'd like to share. Reason why we, aside from you being our family friend, obviously we are both other. We are not normal, as
Well,
some people would like to say.
I wouldn't say you're not normal. That's it's not that's not nice language. I would just say that you are one of the many creatures of the world. That's normal.
That's, that's the way I wish everyone would see it. And as our doctor and our friend, um, we would like to tell you too, that we are incubuses.
All right. Now, what does that mean for your health, though? Does this
Typically,
involve? Hmm.
Well, it means
Uh,
that very kindly that very fine discussion of collard greens and spinach is not going to do a whole lot.
Well, I don't know if what sort of dietary restrictions they might have, or allergies or whatnot. Might I be able to roll knowledge roll?
Yes, you can. Knowledge educate. What would you like to roll specifically?
I imagine knowledge education to what I might know about incubi, specifically in a uh, medical way. They have allergies to silver or such things, because you don't want to go and wouldn't want to go and use. I imagine I have multiple different sets of like what's the word? Examination equipment. Some people might be allergic to some things. You want to make sure. That, yes, I have a specialized medically in that sort of a thing. So either knowledge, education, or healing, or whatever you think would be appropriate.
I'm sorry. What were your specialization? What you could either do. I mean, healing makes the most sense, but if
All
you
right.
have something
Diagnose.
either healing, diagnose, or knowledge, education with a bonus in your using your healing as your bonus die?
I normally have the ability to have knowledge be a bonus die
Yeah.
for my healing.
Then that makes the most sense. Go ahead and use that.
Do so. All right. Let me see. Add a number to all healing results I make equal to the number of bonus dice I have in education. All right then. So, which case, let me do this, and I'm going to get a bonus of 3 to that. So 26. Mostly wondered about medical things, or incubi, what might be important for the medical treatment thereof.
So you would know that that all incubus and succubus are only refers to the gender expression that they attempt to attract, and that all of them are gender fluid and biologically so. They aren't forbidden from consecrated ground like fallen are, but they do have it's not good for them in the long term, as been discovered, as people have discovered in this family. And while they can eat regular food, it does not serve any dietary purpose for them. It's not harmful, but it doesn't serve any dietary purpose for them. Given that Linda is pregnant, it might be to her best interest to increase her diet. She is actively eating for 2, so perhaps she might want to, eat more regularly. You're not sure that alcohol would have any effect on them from a
medical
standpoint. And I really don't see Dr. Musgrove being one of those people to prescribe thalidomide.
No. Thalidomide.
Thank you. Word I struggled to say in all the time.
Well, what about allergies?
Really holy ground? I mean, they are technically an offshoot of they're not quite a demon. They're demon adjacent.
Well, as long as they don't have any, they're not allergic to any kind of metals or whatnot, anything like that.
No, but you're not going to come in. I wouldn't use anything that was blessed, right?
Well, no. Yes.
You know.
But I don't. Some things might be allergic to true silver or whatnot, or coli. Now, you never know about those sorts of things.
Those things you would know based on that roll. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. You know that there are species that do have those problems. Not the incubus or the succubus. They struggle with the consecrated and the holy and the blessed. It's not out and out. It's slightly more uncomfortable and long-term problems than short-term.
Well, Ro, I'd say Linda's eating for 2, so I'd make sure that your energy consumption is
and Hawkeye is correct.
Increased, perhaps.
And Hawkeye is correct. There is no thalidomide in the United States because the FDA had never approved it. That was a European. No, it's a European problem. It's a big British problem, but it's never a European problem, and it's never approved in the United States.
Now, well, some of things weren't approved by the United States, but people ran around doing it.
No, and it was a level of a bunch of people started protesting it real early because they saw what was coming out of England.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about LSD, and well, nonetheless.
What, you don't support you don't support the CIA using LSD to encourage ESP and troops?
I don't think that was approved by the FDA.
This is also true.
Well, nonetheless, I would say I would say Lynn should probably increase her energy consumption to make sure that she can feed that little tack. But congratulations, that's wonderful. I imagine this is wonderful news for you and your family.
Absolutely. We've been trying our entire marriage. We just tend to not be very fertile people, as that could cause an issue, as you can imagine. Um, but no, we are absolutely delighted to be
That's
introducing you.
wonderful.
Absolutely, and I am so happy that you have accepted to be our family's doctor.
It is my honor. And please, if there's anything that is specific that you need in terms of care, like if there's like a specific sort of ritual that has to be done before care happens or anything like that, just let me know. And I'm always happy to make sure that that is taken care of in the office. Because if there's
Absolutely,
one thing that's important,
I'm sure you'll be hearing from my father-in-law here
oh,
soon.
excellent. Yeah. My my feeling is everybody deserves the kind of medical care that is customized to their needs, no matter what sort of physiology or metaphysics they come from. And if there's anything specific that you need, just let me know. If I and I will be happy to go and get whatever sort of tools or implements. I mean, if I need a special kind of stethoscope, I'll make sure I have it. If I don't have it already.
And that is why I always recommend you, Dr. Musgrove, as a family doctor.
Thank you, Ro. It's been a while. You know,
Yeah.
if you want, uh, still always welcome to play bridge.
I'll make sure to stop by more often.
That'd be lovely. It's been too long.
It sure has.
By the way, how is that puppy of yours?
Still doing still happy as a clam. Chewing on bones, running around, causing dirt patches all over my yard. And an absolute couch potato. He will take up the entire couch if you let him.
Well, it's only going to get bigger, I'm certain. Might need a whole special couch just for Hiru.
Oh, don't let him hear that. He'll want it. He don't have the
Probably
room
so.
for another couch. Yeah, the perfectly good
Well,
bed right next to us. He doesn't need anything else.
well, don't tell him that. As for your little tack, I'm very excited.
Thank you. So are we. And I imagine we finish off the night just talking each other's
Yeah,
ears off.
yeah. Oh, what was that like? And asking, well, where were you? Where were you before you were here in Savannah? Have you always been like, just like, where have you traveled? Just kind of like, like, where have you been? Like, are you from? I mean, not, I wouldn't say this out loud, but I heard you incubi. That means think about what kind of species that is. Somewhere hot, like originally from Florida, South Florida. That's the question. I mean, that's where people who might be demon adjacent are from. I don't know. Jacksonville, but just trying to figure it out. I don't know, but like a good catch up.
Yeah.
Indeed. And we're going to pull back as Dr. Musgrove is getting himself reacquainted with his good neighbors, the Walters. Was there something you needed, Mr. Gwilym?
Just the ramifications of a series of unfortunate events.
Ramifications of a series of unfortunate events. Well, first series of unfortunate events is number one. you will have the problem of hold on, please. I lost people's names for a second. All right. So, we have a bunch of people who are having some not good fun times. The Steels. It'll be about a week, and then the Steels car is found in the river swamp. There are no bodies, but there are enough stuff inside, and it looks like perhaps animals have gotten to.
Oh, because there were bodies in there when we put the car in. There just wasn't much blood left in those bodies, you know?
Yes,
Just enough to put in the water to attract things, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The cleanup crew.
Yeah, a bunch of things. There's no bodies left inside. They apparently weren't real happy. Also weren't real popular with some other people.
Oh,
Yes.
some other people were like, haha, a gift.
Pretty much. Just saying. They definitely pissed off some people. The Taylors left Savannah. You do not know where they went. Rumor has it they went, they was going to visit her mother. Rumor had perhaps other relatives outside of Atlanta. Nobody's 100% sure. The Boyds, well, you knocked them out of the field. There was a very public display. And by public, I mean, apparently Mrs. Boyd found out that Mr. Boyd had given in to this perhaps, and, Michael had a visit from Mrs. Boyd to file the paperwork for a divorce. Scandalous, I know.
Oh.
When I said you knocked them off the field, their family is entirely removed from the... They have no more family, it's just...
It's more fun to end the family line like with the Steels, but not always plausible, so, you know.
Robert Hewack, you tipped off Hewack about Robert Chamberlain and Muriel. They did go before, well, Robert did go before Hewack. Muriel was deemed not to be of interest, perhaps, at the time. He managed to get himself out without going to prison, but he is being strongly looked at, and there is perhaps some internal shunning going on, because why would you be called before the House Un-American Activities Committee if you were not perhaps engaging in un-American activities? Mason Ewing did attend I did make some rolls, did attend his hearing, and then proceeded to have a giant cardiac event on the floor of the House. It was quite a scandal in a moment. Susan Ewing was up in arms over this whole thing. The twins, boys, have gone off to her brother's family in Virginia to attend a small school there. It's, you know, there's a school in Newgate. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, well, look it up. And apparently he had a major Hawkeye knows. But yes, there is also a prep school that went with that particular institution. And they are well, technically that's in Lexington, not in Newgate, but yes. They are up there now. James Smith had a small problem and had to return to Savannah because a number of outstanding loans were being called in, and he did not have the funds to continue his campaign in Atlanta for the time being. And the house suffered a catastrophic incident. Luckily, I also did roll for this. Luckily, no one was home at the time. because James had been gone to Atlanta, Henrietta decided to take her and the children to visit her mother in outside Macon. Just happened to be such. But major issues. The house is structurally unsafe, and you've got all these loans that have to be paid off. It's a little bit of a problem.
Oh, what a problem.
And interesting fact, caused by the problem with the actions of Henrietta Smith and her ilk, you have Jack Hall and Robin McLeod. Jack Hall, Robin McLeod, Kit Eldridge, Caradic Lafayette, and a Colonel Fitzryan, have, and Dennis Grimes, have begun working together to make Caradic Lafayette electable. Talking to the VA, talking to some other veterans groups. You have a question about that?
Not my first choice, but we could do a lot worse.
Yeah, same.
Rumor has it, and they would actually tell you this, that Kit Eldridge and Lafayette, Caradic Lafayette played Rochambeau to find out which one of them was going to have to do this, and apparently Caradic Lafayette lost.
Oh.
He's not married, though, if I recall correctly.
No, Caradic Lafayette is not married.
How does Caradoc look?
I'm sure his good pal,
late 30s,
Colonel
perhaps?
Fitzryan.
Yeah, Colonel Fitzryan looks in his 40s and early 40s, and Caradic looks like he's in his mid 30s, perhaps.
Caradoc's going to be a fun ride real quick.
Maybe. There's a real popular senator that's making rumors that possibly be running for the Democratic National Convention in the near future, as in 2 years. He's young, attractive, popular.
More interested in dealing with the devils I know.
I'm hurt. I'm fundamentally hurt.
I'm sorry. But the difference between Fae and demons is really temperature. That's about it.
So Florida versus
Florida
Colorado.
versus Rio de Janeiro.
Now, I feel that is a mischaracterization.
You're entitled to your opinion.
Well, then.
A mischaracterization of Florida or of Rio de Janeiro?
Which, if we're asking, Florida's hotter, by the way. Just.
But yeah, no, there's not much of a difference there. The rules are awfully similar. Awfully similar. It's just the Fae will get you on the technicality faster than the demon. That and
they're
the
much
Fae
nicer
don't
house ghosts.
Yeah, and they don't try and get people's souls through a fiddle contest.
No, there's no actual contest involved if they choose to engage in musical performance.
So, yeah, no, it's dealing with the devil we know. And while the family is popular and wealthy, um, that single thing is going to be a mark against.
Maybe. We'll find out. He gonna run. By the way, you were all invited to vote, and I will put it as a vote in when we get to it on the community page on YouTube as well, and you can all vote there to see whether who is going to win the gubernatorial election in
Well, not
Georgia.
Mr. Smith. If we can do anything about it, that's the answer.
I have faith in the mouse.
I would like to point out that the Lafayette's are taking some money from him too, or taking his money. I should be more specific. Not taking money from him, but taking his money because they. Is that why they call them all goobers? Yes, because gubernatorial is not how you spell it. It's gubernatorial.
Also, we're in Georgia, peanut farms.
No, look, he's not running yet. We don't have to deal with him yet.
No, we don't have to deal with him yet, or him saving Canada.
But in that, oh, and there is one other fallout. Just small.
Yeah. Be careful when you use the term fallout, considering how the show opened.
Oh no, that's why Kit Eldridge found it. He was like, nah, we're not leaving that around my house. Or any land or body of water that I happen to engage in. There is an invitation. Well, there you might, if you read through the newspaper, it's not an invitation. That seems quite crass. If you read through the newspaper about a month later, you will read about the unfortunate. If you read through the Atlanta Journal Constitution, the unfortunate passing of Mr. James Smith Sr. and the current James Smith's father, and his brother, and the unfortunate, apparently they had a massive, there was an event that the family was attending, and there was a mix-up in the foods that was being prepared, and somebody mislabeled a salt shaker for a rat poison.
Common
Massive.
mistake. Happens all the time.
Yep, large number of people. And only 2 people died, but a lot of people never got sick, unfortunately. Well, maybe fortunately.
This is why you get Waffle House to do your catering. Less chance of rat poison.
Indeed. But I think that's where we're going to end for tonight. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for... So, by the way, Coldrake, fun fact. So, Coldrake brings out... Now my brain is running on a film, Godzilla Rising from the Depths of Tybee Island near Savannah. So, actually, no. There was an animated special done in the 70s where... not Godzilla, but one of his enemies, one of the female enemies.
Mothra?
Not Mothra, but one of the reptiles. I don't remember. I'll have to go back actually look this up. And you can look this up on Wikipedia about the Tybee Island bomb. Discovered the bomb and was about to engage with it, but Godzilla and the United States Navy saved it by taking it first.
So we found Lafayette's running mate.
Godzilla?
Yes, a giant lizard.
Yeah. Godzilla. Perfect.
No. Not gonna be it. But yes, no, that's actually a thing that happened that people played with, and as of right now, it is still missing. Nobody knows where it is. Yeah, we'll find out about that. So we will. First things first, we're going to let everybody go take a minute and figure out what your house fortune rolls are going to be. I would just like to say that these
Oh my
things.
gosh, it's a boon.
Oh yeah, why you two don't roll? Until you have a negative that would get you actually under a 42. Yeah, don't. Hey,
Is the sorry for
ooh, I'm
shipping.
sorry, I can't hear you. It's cracking again, and I couldn't make it out. I know, it's so much
I'll
annoying.
type.
Okay. Yeah. No, sorry. It was cracking so much I couldn't understand you. I apologize. So Trooper. 24, I believe, is a growth.
I also believe that's a growth. I think that 24 and 25 are both growth, and then like 23 is doom or something along those lines.
You are
I believe.
You are correct, PB.
What?
He gets an extra
Shipping.
D6. She is shipping.
Oh, yes. Yes. So I think I have a growth. I get to add a +1 to one of my stats,
Yep.
and I will do so. I imagine it's just trying to rebuild.
Trying to rebuild, and I'm not sure your daughter's gonna help you very much.
Oh no, they will when it's their turn in the second arc, but they don't want to rebuild. They don't want to build the way I want to build. I want to build in a very different kind of a way in terms of,
I can't wait for Arc 2, by the way, y'all. Ooh, guess
friendship and.
what? Next week is the finale of Arc 1.
62.
1962. I'm pulling out a hat for this shit, y'all.
But yes, that's right, Coldrake, the next generation. Peter will not be running the Musgrove house for the second arc. Other people will. You know. You know.
Mm-hmm. So many others. All right, then. Ooh. BB! You succeeded! You get a boom, which is a +6.
1d6.
Plus. No.
A D1d6, yeah.
No.
Or 2d3. You can pick.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I misspoke. You get a +6 to your project roll next week.
Oh, it's a project roll, yes.
Yes. You're also correct in everything you just said. I was jumping. But yay, good job. So we're gonna go around, let everybody say where you can find them, and I have a question for all of the players. Hi, Michael. I have a question for all of the players. Are you or your family active campaigners for this gubernatorial election? For or against? So why don't we start with Trooper?
Hello, I'm Trooper SJP. Pew, 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 pew. I was playing the Musgroves, happy to be here. Lovely times. I want to give my love to PB for very kindly sucking the life out of various people who would not be missed. And also, like, making like a little happiness between two old pals. That was lovely. And I'm gonna not make any comments about the murder, death, and destruction that came out of the two rich houses because I feel like it's like the Greek goddesses. If you get their attention, I just turn you to stone or something. I'll just like
You
just
already
like
have Arlene's attention. I work for you, Mr.
Oh,
Musgrove.
true.
Paid
It's
your
true. It's very
debt.
nice. Oh, I appreciate that. I want to appreciate the Oddlings for paying off that like $15,000 debt. Woo! And fine. And
Nothing really.
oh right. And and the and also the Gwillums for as part of their good deeds before their less good deeds. Getting my sentence commuted some. So that is much appreciated, much appreciated. And I always, of course, want to give Lynn some love for the way that she, thinks about the family, like her coalition with the new families. I appreciate that very much as well. And to Prax for giving us a backdrop to go wild in. And you can. Oh, and the answer to campaigning is that the Musgroves are political. They believe in participating in politics, and of course, Peter will be campaigning for the Socialist Liberal Party again. His two daughters will not be. His two daughters will be campaigning if James Smith is still running and looking like he's actually viable. They'll be working on that one because they really want to get good, patriotic people elected. Patriotic people elected. So the two twins will definitely be out there campaigning pretty hardcore. Yep. Yep. And you can find me today's what? You can find me tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. over at Wandering DM's channel for Montreal by Night. You may or may not see my makeup. Who knows? It's unclear. And then Tuesday at 7 p.m. over on my channel, Trooper SJP, you can find me for Detroit Motor City Hollow Crown. And then Friday, the season finale of The Gamblers, the Traveler Pirates of Drynex campaign on my channel at 7 p.m. there as well. Those are the 4 RPGs I've got going on right now. And I'm going to pass it off to the next person.
Yes.
Also, fake pipe made of plastic. It's not, I'm not, don't smoke.
Yes. Why don't we go over to Lindy for the pipe transition? Absolutely perfect.
There you go. Yes. Hello. Real pipe here, not a fake one. At least this one's not. This one is. This one's a bubble pipe. This one's a real pipe. And it smells amazing. I'm not gonna lie. But cigarettes are bad. Don't smoke. I just like antique stores. So yeah. You can find me online at Laugh of Lindy. My love for tonight goes to I love this camaraderie that the Gwillums and Ardelines have found since joining houses via marriage a little bit. They work well together, the two houses, and I appreciate that we're neighbors. So what else? What you couldn't ask for a better neighbor than the Gwillums right next door. At least for now. And then let's see. Love for the Walters for just having that cute little scene with Dr. Musgrove and being like, well, we might be incubi. It's a thing. But we want you to be our primary care doctor because we trust you, and then they're like, well, maybe you should come over for bridge more often. It was just so wholesome, and I was just so here for all of it. And also that you let your prey live. That was nice. That's what the Ardelines often do. They did not this time. And it happens. Yeah. And then of course, Dr. Musgrove, for also being in that conversation with the Walters. It was very cute. And then oh yeah, tell my wife this. Oh, and this, and this. And then the list went on as Opal had asked. And then love for Lynn for the Quans, just making quiet little moves, just trying to lay low. But you know they've got a lot going on. Those poor Quans. I can't wait to see where everything goes with everybody. And of course, love for our GM for this, lovely little world in Savannah 1958, not 85. That's my Wednesday night. Not in Savannah, but dates and switching, flipping numbers. I can't wait for the 1960s. I don't have nearly the wardrobe for the 1960s, so I'll be making do. We'll see what happens. I'm very excited. I don't know who I'm going to play in the new generation. It really depends what happens next week. I'm just kind of on a week-to-week basis because vampire generations are a lot more spread out than the typical human generations. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, you can find me, Laugh Love Lenny, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Tomorrow night, I will be on my own channel for Mondays in Exandria, the new match. We're making trouble in Carousel, and not almost getting arrested. It's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. Also, might be a murder robot. It's unclear when you have amnesia, anything's possible as a character. Tuesday night, we have our Stargate Flames of Hope campaign. It's gonna be one of those Stargate episodes where the non-humans in our group are asked. Just think about what your character would look like if they were a human. So it's gonna be one of those Stargate episodes. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. And then on Wednesday, we will be having our last Wintercroft investigations for a little while. We will have Yutsai. His character will be introduced. And they're going to be going to jolly old England. So that'll be fun. And yes, there will be tie-ins to other campaigns that have been on my channel. So if you like that, welcome to the Lindyverse, I guess. I don't know. And then let's see. On Friday night, I will be on Trooper's channel for the Travelers finale. And yeah, it may be the last episode of Wintercroft Investigations on Wednesday for a little bit. But the week after that, like starting in August, Below the Land of Fire, with all 4 of our Wintercroft Investigations people will be starting. So yeah, that's me.
Indeed. Check all of those out. And then Pope. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, doing all right. Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on the webs and social medias. First business, then pleasure. If you want to see more of this silly face, yes, tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. over on Wandering DM for more Montreal by Night with some other familiar faces. We're in October over there, and nothing ever good happens on Halloween. Ever in Vampire. Ever. And some prince in their infinite wisdom is having an Elysium.
I object
Halloween.
to calling him a prince.
Some kind of prince. I mean, who knows? He could have bought the rights from Sony for, Prince's disc catalog. Another reason to despise him. But yeah, no, definitely tune in for what's probably going to be a very, very bumpy ride. And then be back here for more Carousel Court, where I'm interested to see how the Quans enter the 60s, given everything that they've set up and researched, and possibly
Boarding school should be almost done.
unearthed, quote unquote. Then, like, it was interesting. We had, on top of all the skullduggery and Prax being one of my favorite people for enabling me to be at my absolute worst. We had these lovely dual reunions between Opal and Peter, as well as Ro and Peter, and that sort of seeing Peter at an exceedingly low point, but there's hope. We don't know for how long, but there is hope. And as for the politics of the family, Mercer is campaigning incredibly hard for Lafayette.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that question.
I was about to come back to you on that one.
Yeah, Mercer is campaigning publicly and very, very hard. The bulk of the family is less pro Lafayette and more anti Smith. It's more like, yeah, Mercer, yeah, you can get out of your cell and go campaign for Lafayette. That's cool. That keeps you distracted. While the rest of the family, we're going to ruin this man. Ruin him in every way, shape, and form. For hell is not just a place, it's also a state. And hell on earth is a thing that can happen.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, indeed. And then last but never least around here, hey PB.
Hi. Hopefully I'm no longer crackly. Hi, hello, I'm PB from at PB Plays Inside. You can find me over on Twitch and all social media at PB Plays Inside, though I'm most active on Twitch, so if you want to find me, just pop on by on a weekday evening and I'll probably be there playing some either Destiny, Minecraft, or whatever else really hits my fancy, but those are the main ones. And let's see, as for love, just the just pure devastation that just Pope and Lindy were absolutely ready to just drop on these families. Like, I don't even think a breath was taken before they were both just like, no, destruction. You're no longer here. I don't know how we're gonna get you gone, but you're gone. You just don't know it yet. And just I always love how just ready Trooper is to just absolutely destroy Peter Musgrove in any way, shape, and form. Just, please give them the chance to just annihilate this man. It's my favorite thing. I love Trooper's just honestly catchphrase at this point of just like, no, he doesn't defend himself. He takes it. Whatever it is, you don't have to tell me what it is. Just know that he takes it. He's done for. If you let him, he's gone.
The twins aren't like that though. The twins are different. So next cycle, the twins, yeah, they're different. Yeah.
But so I will take every moment I can then in between you and Peter.
Well, it lasts because the twins are less nice. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh no, I'm not going to defend. I'm going to go and stab you, and you're like, oh, I see. But stabbing is violent, and that's not nice.
Oh, we know how to respond to violence.
That dips into the shovel fund.
I would like to point out, Trooper, we'll let PB finish, and then I have to ask Trooper for something.
Oh, absolutely. And as a family, we absolutely support. I take Mercer's side on this, and all my friends, honestly, the Grimes, Mercer, they're all campaigning for Lafayette, so I'm right behind them. Look, I'm come from a long lineage of veterans, and he might not be one, Ro might not be a veteran, but that's because back in the day it was a little easier to just kind of eat people out on the battlefield. Right? Not that easy to do so in these recent wars. It's trench wars, you're right next to everyone. There's no place to just kind of like sneak off and just, oh man, oh no, they got shot. Like that was
in like the battlefield, like during the clash. Yeah, it's so hard.
It's like
I get
things
it.
like that were easier. And medically, Ro was not able to go because of that. And so he is very much, pro veteran, and they're just like, oh, all my friends, all the VA, everyone's going, oh, absolutely, yeah, we're going for Lafayette, let's do it. Next one, you're winning. You got my support, you got my donation.
Good. and then I'll post that. Hi, everyone. I've been your wonderful GM for the evening, your friendly neighborhood Prax, at Dear Gentleman on Twitter, or Praxagorth as me before you see me around here on Twitch. And before I do the rest of my spiel, I need to ask Trooper to make a roll. It will be a very important roll for you to make. That's not what you need to make. You need to unmute yourself.
I mean, I rolled 2d6.
That's not what you need. I need a will dedication roll for Nelly. Oh, and you do get a penalty die this time. You went to prison.
Absolutely. Okay. I rolled a 16.
16. Yes, you rolled a 16.
No, that's not right. That can't be right.
Yeah,
no, it
penalty
is.
die.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you rolled 4d6, dropped a dropped 1. Yeah.
Yeah, but it should be dropping the highest, right? Because it's a penalty die, not a bonus die. So that should be 11.
Okay. Yeah, either way, well, you also get the bonus die if you had a specialization, but it doesn't matter. Either way, you succeeded. She does make you sleep on the couch for like the first couple nights home.
Well, I mean, go to a motel if his presence is not welcome.
No,
You know
it's,
what I mean?
it's not that. It's not his presence isn't welcome. It's that you have to talk things out, and she's in that state of like, we do have to have this conversation, and we have to help each other.
I missed you, but I'm angry at you still a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want you to actually go away, but
I
just
need you
want-
not breathing on me tonight.
yeah, it's the I just want
I
to
mean,
be
he's
mad.
been gone for 4 months.
I just want to be mad for a while. It's what the state is in. Do you remember that song?
Yes, it's a good song.
It is a very
But
good
I mean,
song.
he's always willing to. I mean, he's been gone for 4 months. If she needs him to be gone longer, he will.
No, she
'Cause
doesn't
he
want you
will
gone.
not-
No, she doesn't want you gone.
He wants you in the house.
House.
She just want to look at you.
She just wants you to. She doesn't want you gone. She's just saying you're sleeping on the couch for the first 2 nights because she's got to be not mad, and you have to have a conversation.
Hey, he will sleep on the couch however long she wants. I don't know why the roll does not work properly. Worried about that, but
Well, no, because it
yeah,
didn't roll.
That's it.
Well, no, if you have a penalty die, it should roll the die and then drop it. What's your will score?
4.
So it didn't even roll it.
So weird.
That's very odd. Anyways,
So
you still passed it. Well, you still end up with the 11.
Yeah, same score, but
Yeah, it's dropping the lowest.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out later. But
just note it for later. There's
We're
something
noting
weird
it
with
for
the die
later.
roller.
we're noting later that there's something interesting with the die roller. But yes, right now she just wants to be mad for a while. She doesn't want you gone. You can't resolve your problems if you leave. Also, it'd be entirely more shameful if you had walked out if you were staying at the motel now. But that's a separate issue. So, hi everybody. I'm your friendly neighborhood Prex. At Dear Gentleman on Twitter, Prexgorth as me before you see me around here on Twitch, Prex the Bard over on Instagram and Hive. Maybe you'll see me over on Blue Sky in the near future. That's a thing that's apparently happening. Who knows? But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you to my wonderful, fabulous players for agreeing to this project, this very artsy art house TTRPG experiment that we are doing. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you to Hawkeye for those wonderful ads that we played during the break. Thank you to Jim for doing the newsreel for this week. We appreciate you for that. And if you missed out on anything and you enjoyed this and you want to see more of us or find out more about the story as it's unfolded, hi, there's a YouTube. It exists. You can go over there, subscribe, follow, click the button, like, share, all of those things, I guess, is a thing. It's great. Enjoy it. If you want to support us out here, there I have a Ko-fi for that. I'm trying to raise some more money to get another camera and do some more in-depth get more hardware builds up for this. All of the money there goes into building here. You can also buy some merch. It exists. We have a merch store, and you can check it out there. It supports the campaign, supports everything I try and do around here, and it actually looks pretty nice, and in the physical, real, touchy kind of sense. There is a piece that will be going up shortly from this campaign so far. It'll be great. And as for me, hi, me, you will find me with Pope and Trooper over on Wandering DM's channel tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for Montreal by Night, where the answer is hashtag not the Ravnos' fault in anything. But apparently there's drama coming from for the Ravnos. Still not her fault. Also, what is the over? We are betting on finally getting to see Trooper's makeup. The over under on seeing Trooper's makeup. I want to see it. See it. And then you'll find me back here. Well, you'll definitely be back here on Sunday. We may or may not have another pop-up stream sometime during the week. I don't know. We'll see how it goes and how much my life is. But other than that, check my Twitter and Hive, because I was post where I'm going to be, and the fun, wonderful, fabulous folks like these fine people right here that I get to hang out with and tell stories with. And I will post that gubernatorial election on the community page on YouTube, so you may all vote. But let us see if there's anybody awake that we can go raid. Doesn't look like there is at the moment. So we'll just say good night. See you next week, everybody. Bye.
We can't provide you with a date, but we do supply a magic bait. Burma Shave. The wolf is shaved